here we go.
Yes, people. What's going on? We got a lot to talk about today. Liverpool have just announced the signing of their second midfield signing of the window with Dominic Szoboszlai. And Tottenham have just come out of absolutely nowhere with the here you go for Fulham's Soloman. And of course, we still got to talk about Chelsea. We got two Chelsea fans on today to talk about what's going on at Chelsea. Because is Chelsea a mess or are they exactly where they want to be? In addition to that, we're going to have a United fan, Staffy, joining us later in the stream, hopefully to talk about Onana and Rasmus Hojlund, and of course myself to talk about the Timber deal. But before we get any further, big up Alan for joining us. Of course, a lot of you guys have just come over from his channel, so we're going to talk about Spurs first. They're the first topic of the day. We got Qasim in the building, his arch nemesis, as they always argue. And of course, right, Mojo will also be making a return at some point during the stream, hopefully. And Rack will at some point during the stream be joining us also. But I guess the only place to start, Alan, is with your boys, Tottenham. Where did this come from? Did you know anything about it? Did you hear anything about it? Did you know at all that you guys were about to pull off a transfer when you woke up today? Or did this come completely from left field, completely from out of nowhere, and Fabrizio Romano just dropped the bomb and you were shocked?
So for me, it was literally out of nowhere. So I know there's obviously rumors and like people talking about this coming week about defenders, which we need. And I was like, okay, fair enough. And then out of nowhere, literally just 10 minutes before I went done my live with Johnny, the people obviously in the comments have come across from there. I was just, like, it dropped and I was like, wow, I weren't expecting this. People were saying obviously bad for Spurs, this and the other and all that because we need we need defenders. For me, I don't see it as a bad thing if it doesn't detract from the centre-back. Like, we desperately need a centre-back or at least two. But this is a free and it's not taking money away and we're actually still going to get the defenders over the line. It's just added and it creates competition for places. It means that if Postecoglou is the type of manager, it'll be like, you're not performing, get out. Having somebody of his ability to be able to cause problems when coming on the pitch, for me, like that. And Mustafa saying he won't play. He's coming in as a good option off the bench to be able to create, problems for teams. He's not going to be a starter, but if people aren't performing and Postecoglou does make those changes and go like that, look, you're not performing off, you on. He's a great addition to have on. So yeah, for me, it's not a bad signing at all. Obviously, it's an addition to who we're looking for centre backs. So yeah, it's a good bit of business for Spurs.
He joined Spurs as a free transfer.
Yeah, free.
How?
So yeah, he's because he was on loan from I think he was Shakhtar. He was on loan from Shakhtar or something like that. So yeah, I think from what I know, like he is coming in as a free signing. I don't know the ins and outs because I went live straight away, but I think he's going to be he will be a free signing.
There you go. Now we're going to try to keep the stream about politics away from politics, but of course Tottenham is does have a massive Jewish community, so it does benefit. Do you think this is a marketing signing?
No, I don't think it's a look. I think it's a signing that is finally being done where it's being done for Postecoglou and what he wants. So the type of football he plays and what Solomon from obviously because I'm having to look up because I'm not going to come in here and claim I know everything about every player. I don't. From what I'm looking up and everything like that, he will fit what Postecoglou wants. In the fact, and with Spurs, we've always known that Spurs that you have a good starting 11 or 12 maybe, and then everything else falls off dramatically. So for me to have at least a good squad this time rather than just starting 11. I'm more than happy for it. So, yeah, like I said, I don't see this as a bad signing. I don't see it as a bad signing at all. People saying 100% it is, that's fine. You can have your opinion, but he will get to this. Rack's in the building, but he's sunning himself outside. Look,
Rack is living on the penthouse. Where you at, bro?
Yeah, I'm at home, man. Sorry, having a few Wi-Fi issues because the new place that I've moved into. But yeah, we're good now.
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, Rax, thank you for just joining us. If you don't know, Tottenham have just signed a player, And the situation is that Tottenham have agreed to the transfer of Soloman from Fulham. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't think this is like a marquee signing or anything. It's more just shocking that Tottenham pull a transfer out of nowhere. But yeah, Hassan, do you have anything to say? Because I feel like Tottenham do have more business to get done. This is a great start. You guys got yourself a signing. But the player himself, personally, I don't rate him. Don't rate the player.
Like I said, I'm not getting ahead of him. He's not going to come on. He's not going to put Son out of the team. But after them, literally, you've really got no one that will come on. And you could say maybe Porro if he's going to be on the right wing, or Destiny if he's going to be on the left wing. But I'm pretty sure there'll be other places in like maybe right back or left back. But he's going. Look at Rackley's penthouse indeed. But yeah, for me, it's going to have somebody to come on who can cause problems, and not just because we've seen at Spurs when you've made signing or like when you made substitutions in games, more often than not, we just literally fall off a cliff and we don't still have attacking intent or anything like that because we haven't had the players. So I'm not saying he's a world beater. We know he's not. He's not a marquee signing. The fact that he's on the list of like your Declan Rices and all that, like I'm not saying any of that. But what Chris Meta Football TV says. Sensible signing. He fits Ange's system. Free signing. It's not going to detract from the defenders we need. So overall, it's a good bit of business on the side of what we need. Definitely. If it was one of these where we only signed him and we were like we're done, then massive problems at Spurs. But it's being done as extra, as an added bonus. So you can't knock it. You can't.
You know what? I feel like all of us kind of don't know enough about this guy to add our 2 cents properly. So I'm just gonna say this: he was okay with Fulham. He was a decent player for them. He did well for about 6 games, and then the rest of the games was mainly the rest of the squad carried their load. But he did show up for them in a difficult part of the season. Let's see what he does for Tottenham. Personally, for me, I don't know if this is a kind of transfer that will put Tottenham over the edge, but at least Son will have some competition for his place. And if you get into the political side of things, I think he's an absolute scumbag. But hey, that's beside. We're not here for politics. Let's talk about Harry Kane though. Unless somebody wants to talk about Solomon any further.
No. I think just let me add something quickly though. I think he's a marketing sign because we know Tottenham has got a big Jewish community there, and I think in Alan, correct me if I'm wrong. I think in the board himself he got Jewish members. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, so I think that's how I see it. I think it is a kind of like Chelsea did it with I think it was Benayoun from Liverpool. They had the manager himself. I forgot his name now. That took us to Champions League final to 2008. Great.
Avram Grant.
Yeah, that's it. I think it was kind of because maybe Roman was Jewish himself. So yeah, I think personally I think it's a marketing thing, but. If it's on free, I'm not sure how good it is. I don't know much about the guy, to be fair, so I cannot speak about the guy.
So, say it's all about marketing. Okay, if it's about marketing, why haven't we done this in the last 22 years, 23 years? Why now is it?
You never had a player of that ethnicity at your club?
Okay, but it's not marketing. People need to come away.
It's not marketing, no.
Exactly, it's not. He fits. He plays like. I'm not saying. Look. I'm still researching, looking at that, but from what I've seen, he fits what Ange's looking to do and the type of football he's playing. So, like I said, you don't want a massive drop off in the fact that someone's going to play the type of way and then have someone who comes on who doesn't play that type of way. So he's literally fits in. So yeah, for me, or nothing less.
It's just a coincidence. Okay, fair enough.
Look. He will fit and play in the way that Ange wants him to. So and for me, whereas Conte didn't, I think Ange is going to be the type of if you don't play, if you don't perform, you're out of the team. So I'd rather a player come in who is just fits Ange's system, the higher presses, energy, doesn't sit back and be like that, or is not a passenger on the pitch, who then will make Son be like, shit, I have to perform now to get back in the team, or like I'm in serious competition for my place on that. I want competition in my team. For so long, Spurs have had a top 11 with an extra player or two, like a top 12 or 13, who are untouchable. And I want that to be completely changed at Spurs. Now, I want every single player to be like that. If I don't perform, there's somebody that manager will give a chance to come in and take my place. I want that because Spurs have got comfortable, we've got sloppy, we've got slow, because certain players have gone in there and gone like that. I'll be here next season picking up a paycheck. I don't want any of that at Spurs now. I want this to be the catalyst for change, and I'm hoping it is. If it's not, then I'll just come on here and say, fuck Spurs. But I honestly think this is finally change at Spurs that Spurs fans have been wanting. Not going to say people go, oh, you think you're going to win things?
What happens with Harry Kane?
For me, it's quite simple with Harry Kane. I want him to come out and tell us what his intentions are, because literally he's coming out and saying nothing, and everyone wants to go, oh, like, we shouldn't tell him. If he wants to go, let him go and get the money. None of this on the free, and we'll 3 in 12 months and good like that, where he can go walk across to Chelsea or go to Man United on the free. If he wants to stay, if he says, I want to stay at Spurs this season, okay, we'll commit to a contract to see out your career here. If he goes no, then sell him. I want money for him to put back into the squad to rebuild, or to help with the rebuild and probably get a potential top quality striker, because our owners have said there's not enough money there. Like, well, we've got 100 and we've got to work within our means. So if we do get rid of him and we give him away on a free, we're going to find it harder to get a top quality striker next season with even less money. So what you need to do, I don't believe that anyway, but that's what our owners are saying. So you need to cash in on him now and use that 80 million to put back into the squad, where you buy a young quality striker in Europe that's going to be about 60 million, and then you've got the money in the bank, rather than doing it a season later or letting it go on a free. Makes no sense. If he wants to commit and says, I believe in Postecoglou and his plans for the future, I'm going to see out my career, sign a contract, fair enough. But if he doesn't want to commit to Spurs, goodbye, Harry Kane. Thanks for the memories, but we'll cash in on you.
And you know what? Before we go on to any transfers or anything else, I do think we need to give Bayern a little bit of conversation about them. I think Bayern are not going to pay the type of money Tottenham want for him, and he's going to be forced to stay at Tottenham for one more year. His contract runs out next year, right?
Yeah, so literally in a year's time, he'll be able to leave on a free.
I think he will potentially leave on a free, but this whole entire year will be Daniel Levy trying his best to get him on a long-term contract. He might even try to put him on a 5-year deal to try to just secure his future.
If that's the whole thing. If, like I say, Kane doesn't want to commit, then look, Daniel Levy needs to take. If he doesn't want to sign, Daniel Levy needs to cash in on him, because the way you look at it is, whatever your money you're getting out of Bayern, if it's 60, 70 million, so many clubs are going to be looking at that Harry Kane thing and be like, I don't have to pay anything, and in a year I can get him for a lot cheaper by paying him a sign-on bonus, like paying him sign on.
I mean, they could potentially sign him in January with a view on a free contract.
Exactly. So 70 million now is not bad for last year, when you missed this chance and he doesn't sign, he can walk on a free. So 70 million, Spurs fans are going, oh, but he's worth way more than 70 million. Yeah, he would be worth way more than 70 million if he was in 5 years of his contract, or he had a big contract. We didn't take it 100 million on from Man City when he had 4 years, and literally now we've mismanaged the situation. Now he can walk. He has all the power. So
Daniel here says Tottenham could be better without Kane.
Exactly. And Spurs fans are like, this is what most of the Spurs fans have literally gone like that. Oh, if we get rid of Kane, we're end of a team. But we said that about Berbatov, about Keane, about Defoe, about Modric, about Bauer and all that. And we've continued to stay in and around and all that. I think because of Kane, people are so scared that we won't be able to find anyone or anything like that. And I don't think that's the case. Will we take a dip if Kane goes? If will we take a dip if Kane goes? More than likely, but you get the right top. That's why I say you sell for 70.
Okay, let me just say this: what price would Bayern have to pay for you guys to sell?
I would sell on 70 million with the final year of his contract if they came in. Other Spurs fans are saying they want 120 million. That's never going to happen. No team is going to go with a year left in his contract. Is 120 million when in 12 months they can get him for free? It's not going to happen. And Fair 70 million is quite low, but that's because we've mismanaged his contract.
Fair enough.
90 million euros. Let's talk for Bayern, which is probably like 78 million pounds. I think they could probably go to that.
Okay.
Any more? I'm not sure, because they will be paying him big. He will be on big wages. Like he'll be on 300 grand a week or something like that. So he's not going to be on.
Very true. And thank you for muting your mic, because there's a lot of noise in the background. Appreciate it. Qasim, are you there?
Look at him in his penthouse. Look at
Qasim's not there. I'm just.
Yeah, I am there. I am there.
I want to know from everyone in the chat: do you believe Harry Kane will be at Tottenham this year, next year, this time? Everyone here also. I believe Harry Kane will either go to Manchester United or stay at Tottenham. So if Manchester United
or Chelsea still.
I don't believe Chelsea are in the mix. But at this moment in time, I believe his only options are Manchester United. Manchester United are not going to pay the money. He's going to stay at Tottenham. And I could see Harry Kane staying at Tottenham for even further. He might sign a new contract. It's 50-50. I agree with this. I think there's a Tottenham fan here to there.
50-50, yeah. Listen, I think, sorry, let me ask Alan again. How many years left in his contract? A year?
1 year.
This is into his final year. We're going to, he can go for free in the summer.
So, yeah, so same situation as Mason Mount, right? So my point I'm trying to make, I think 75 is a fair, because he's got 1 year left in his contract. I think 75 is fair enough, in my opinion, right? I won't rule Chelsea out, bro. I know Tottenham don't sell to Chelsea, and I understand that about Daniel Levy. Don't rule Chelsea out. We're talking about Pochettino. Maybe United. United need a striker. Bayern Munich. I think he will go this year, bro. Daniel Levy won't let him go for free next year, man. Unless if he accepts new contract with 3 years.
Imagine he comes to Arsenal and does a thing.
Oh, fair enough.
So Campbell, listen, we need a striker. Next season, we're going to need a striker.
The only way that Kane forces himself out is if he makes completely and utterly clear to Daniel Levy, either right now or at least before the end of this transfer window, if he says, Daniel, I am not signing another contract at Spurs.
Yeah.
Now it's now the decision is up to you.
So this is what I'm saying. So Son, when the Saudi teams were coming in, or there was an offer from Son, came straight out and said, "Look, I'm happy at Spurs. It's not about the money. I'm going to stay at Spurs." We haven't heard that from Kane, and again, obviously Spurs fans are like, "But we don't want to lose Harry Kane." I think it's kind of disgusting that he hasn't come out straight away and gone like that straight away.
Disgusting.
If he wants to go, I do, because he didn't do it last time. 2 years ago when it was Man City, he didn't come out and do that. He kept quiet. His performances dropped off. People were like sometimes it was a really toxic place around the club. I think it's disgusting that he hasn't just come out and gone, look, I think if he was to come out when the links were there and gone like that, look, guys, I've done everything I can. I want to go. Spurs fans would be like, thank you very much. You've done everything you can. We wish you all the best. But because he hasn't, and Spurs fans are like, this and the other, if he still doesn't come out and says anything like that, I'm sorry, that's just plain wrong. How can you not come out and say, look, I want to go, I want to win trophies. I haven't done it at Spurs. I gave it my best. I couldn't do it. Rather than just be like, no, I'm not saying anything like that. I think it is disgusting behaviour, to be fair. If he doesn't,
the question that was being asked is, can you see him this time next year at Tottenham?
I think Kane is most likely going to leave on a free. If things obviously don't improve to a manner that makes him believe in whatever the project is going forward at Spurs, and I think that's kind of what's going to be the situation decider for him. I do think what Alan is saying is absolutely correct. You want your star player, your player that everyone backs at your club wholeheartedly. You want him to be able to dismiss stuff like this as quickly as possible to, settle everybody down, especially with the project and everything that's happening around the club. I do think Spurs as a club just needs to make a decision as well. I do think at some point it's not about waiting for the player. It's about maybe making a calculated decision. You had to do the same thing with Gareth Bale at one point, obviously under a more favorable circumstance because you knew that Real Madrid interest was there. You then spend that money to obviously and rebuild the squad. I think that same type of scenario is presenting itself to you right now. And whether that's buying, whether that's, whoever else it might be, you price him accordingly based on who you're selling. And then you make what's best decision for the club. I do think when, everything is surrounding one player, it's not for the benefit of the club. Hence why I'm a fan of, in these types of situations, you cut your losses. You get clarity from the player. If the player is not committed, you do what we've had to do with Mason Mount, for example, what we've had to do with Kai Havertz, for example, because I don't think we were necessarily interested in selling them, but their commitment was clearly not the same as what it once was. Hence why whatever the best deal that we can get for them, get rid. I think Kane is at that point and has been for a long time.
And you know what? Before you go, Alan, I just want to say, everyone in the comment section, do me a favor. All you have to do is hit that like button. It's not as big as a commitment as Harry Kane signing a new contract. So you can hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds. And of course, if you guys want a Harry Kane car freshener, I told you guys he smells like rainforest. There you go. And check it out on Footy Fresh. New sponsor. Anyways, here you go. Let's go. What are we saying?
Well, because I think Mojo didn't hear before he came in. Like I said to the panel, and obviously people watching, that if Kane doesn't want to sign a contract, He doesn't leave on a free. You sell immediately. You put him up, and obviously you take 70 million or like from Bayern or 80 million. Do you think that is too low, or do you think it's in that thing where if he wants to leave, we have to sell now rather than let him go on a free? Because you need to be able to put money back into the club to find a new striker.
Do you think, Alan, like in that circumstance, what's the best thing for the club to do? Because personally, I feel like I don't want anybody else to know that Kane doesn't want to sign a new contract. Although that's probably the conclusion people will already lead themselves to be.
He said that.
I would rather make it seem like, yo, he's ready to stay and commit to my club, and we're just going to keep things like, airtight, and nobody's going to say a thing. Play hardball on the negotiation table so you can get a higher valuation for him, and you still end up doing that anyway.
1 second, Mojo, quick question. Would you take him at Chelsea?
Why would I say no to a striker, bro? He's a proven striker in the Premier League. He's a fantastic. Yeah, it's not even a question.
Do you guys think Chelsea's the landing spot for him? It makes sense.
No,
Stays in London.
I don't think it's happening.
Egal, the question to ask, and be honest, what team in the Premier League wouldn't take him as a striker? Obviously, Man City, you say because of Haaland, but every other team.
You wanted him before Haaland as well, Alan. I think Man City wanted
I don't think Liverpool need a striker, so they might not take him.
Right?
Yeah,
we don't need him. But if you wanted a player who can drop deep, link up play, get in the box, score goals, he is arguably the best all-round striker in the Premier League. So if he was at Liverpool, he would play.
Exactly. See, not every team, even Arsenal.
United need a striker, but I just don't see it.
Look, I've said all along, if he wants to go and sell him, I'd rather sell him for 70 million to a Man United than have him walk to free to a Man United or a free to a Chelsea in a year's time. You have to get money for this guy. And look, he's done everything he can, Spurs, so people wouldn't go out.
You have to.
Alan,
hear me out. 1 second. You have to get money from him because he basically got him for nothing. You used him to his full ability until his second professional contract, and now he's going to be leaving on a free. I think he's done enough for you guys to say you got your money's worth.
I don't look. Harry Kane's done loads of stuff for Spurs, great goals and stuff like that, brilliant. But my club comes first over any player, and I would rather recoup money, 70 million, to put back into that squad because we're going for a rebuild. So why not help yourself in that thing? Spurs could mismanage money like we did with Bale, 86 million, and we spunked on 7 players, one of only which was a decent player. We could do that as well, but I would hope we've learned from that the fact that you take 70 million from Kane, and we've buying all other places to like the centre back. Obviously, we've had Maddison in to a link-up play. You would then want to bring in a top quality striker with as much money as you can get from Kane to continue to have Maddison feeding somebody. Because if it's not Charlison, then you need somebody else in that position.
Alan, 70 million from Bayern or 85 from Man United?
85. I'll take 70 or 85 million. At the end of the day, if Man United are going to get him, I'd rather take 85 million from Man United than have him there for free.
But you'd rather he get the extra money and he stay in the Premier League than get 70 million and he go to Bayern Munich and obviously.
I would rather look. If you ask the option, 70 million and him go to Bayern is the option because he's away from us and obviously can't do us damage. But if it's Man United, I'd rather 85 million from Man United than the potential free from Man United and Chelsea next season.
And people, do me a favor, hit that like button. We're now going to shift gears. Alan, somehow we spent 24 minutes on Tottenham. This is a record. We thought you guys.
Let me say something quickly. Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah,
we spent more than 24 minutes on Spurs when we beat you to Champions League football at the end of last season.
No, that was more Arsenal slander. Let's be honest.
Let me say something quickly, bro.
I was more talking about the transfer window, Alan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but 1 second, just 1 second quickly. I think if it's two clubs gonna get from England, if it's two clubs gonna get Harry Kane, it's gonna be a Chelsea or Man United. I think right now, okay. He could go to Bayern Munich. I doubt it though. I doubt he go to Bayern Munich, and I doubt it. He said he goes for free because we know Daniel Levy is not like that, bro. I think he's and he could be refusing to sign another 3-4 years contract. He wants to win trophies, isn't it? Is he? What? Correct me if I'm wrong. He's 30 now. So I think with Pochettino with Chelsea, I know it seems weird and strange in it going to Chelsea, but at the end of the day, if Chelsea come on and slap to £80 million, I think Daniel Levy, he will let him go.
Big up. Also, you guys are linked to Harvey Barnes. Is that accurate? I thought West Ham were going to buy him. And also, Rack, please, whenever you get a chance, make sure you mute yourself because it's just the wind.
Damn you, Rack. No, look, I think we have been linked with him, but there's look, in regards to Harvey Barnes, I think that's now gone with Solomon. I don't think that's going to happen. I think what you'll see this week is centre-back signings. So yeah, I think that's what you'll look forward to.
Correct me if I'm wrong, by the way. Is this Solomon guy the same guy that was at Fulham?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
I just wanted to know because I was like, I don't know if it's the same person, the brothers. I don't even know. I was so confused.
Yeah, same guy.
Okay. So yeah, you missed that part of the show. Did you want to say anything on it, or you want to just?
No. There's nothing I can say,
Guys,
really, man.
Liverpool have made the signing of Dominic Szoboszlai for 70 million euros. The RB Leipzig midfielder has signed officially, as you can see on the Liverpool website. And they didn't waste time. They had photo after photo after video after video after photo. They just went in. They kept going.
What can I say, man? It's to let the Liverpool fans know we are spending money, guys. He is the PR to prove it.
This is a cold photo, though. This is a cold photo.
1 second, go down. 1 second. No, Gal, go down in the pictures. If pictures stop, go up one. What are we saying? Does he look like Rack?
Damn. I can't believe we're going with this.
What? Are you saying he looks like
I think Rack, you need to cut his hair. You need to cut your hair now.
Rack.
There he is.
Yeah, show your hair. Show your hair.
Look down.
Yeah,
what the hell?
I take it. Rack is gonna buy the shirt.
Listen.
He's a good-looking guy. I'll take it. He's a good-looking guy.
Liverpool have completed the signing for RB Leipzig, the Hungarian captain, also, and it will be for 70 million euros plus I think 5 million in add-ons. They've now completed 2 midfield signings, and they now are not only doing that signing.
It's a release clause. There is no add-ons. You paid a release clause.
Bro,
you don't have a release
we
clause.
know how football works. You pay the release clause, but if you win everything, you get another extra 5 million on top. That's just how it works.
No, but why would you pay if you pay a release clause, then you're released.
Yeah, but the add-ons are not guaranteed. It happens based on.
But there are no add-ons, and it's only obviously.
I thought they activated. Yeah.
If you activate
there's release clauses. Release clauses can also have manufactured clauses inside them where if you reach these
only if you've negotiated to like other things like payment terms with the buying club. That basically we've paid the whole amount up front, probably but via third party. So there is no release clause. There are no bonuses. There are no issues. We've paid the money in full, and therefore we have the player.
No matter how unbelievable that sounds, they've paid the whole money.
There's no issues with that. But my thing is,
no, there is not.
There is add-ons.
I haven't seen
nobody that I know have talked about any add-ons for him or for what's his name.
Look, man, he's an Arsenal fan, man. He's seeing add-ons everywhere, man. Even where he doesn't want to see add-ons, he's seeing them.
Listen. First of all, McAllister does have 20 million add-ons, but that is if he wins everything and does a Ballon d'Or and all that stuff. It's like stuff that they put extra, but it's unrealistic add-on.
Also, controversial question, but how do we pronounce this player's name? Because I'm like,
Dominic Szoboszlai.
Szoboszlai. Okay, cool.
Something like that, yeah.
I think Newcastle was after him as well. I think, correct me if I'm wrong. I think they wanted him for 60. I think Liverpool won the race.
1 second. I'm just going to ask Rack, take it away. What do you want to say about your signing? Because you must be excited. You got a second midfielder this transfer window already, and you probably weren't expecting to do your business so quickly.
No, I mean, look, we have done business quickly in the past, but this one's obviously come a little bit out of left field because it wasn't so long ago, only a few days ago, then people were talking about us not having as much money to spend. But look, even whether you've got money to spend or not, it always makes sense to say that you don't have money to spend because put it out there and maybe you can save yourself a few million. Obviously, in this case, like I said, there's a release clause. We paid the full amount, so there's no money to be saved. But I guess there was talk of us trying to negotiate some payment terms with Leipzig, but they refused. So ultimately, we pay the money. As a player, I'll be absolutely honest. I've seen him play against us when he played at Salzburg, and he looked useful, but he was a lot younger then, or I think he was like 19 or something like that. And I haven't seen him in the Bundesliga very much. But from everything that everybody says, it seems super positive. So if people are being positive, I'm all for that. I'm happy that he's joining the club. But now's when the hard work starts. Now is when you have to step up onto the field in arguably the biggest league in the world and probably the strongest league in the world, and you have to do it. So good. I mean, the good thing is he'll have a manager who believes in him. We'll have a team around him who I think will hopefully pull together and get the best out of him. But he's about to turn 23, I think, in October. It's a lot on young shoulders. But apart from most of the time in recent years, our signings have worked out pretty well. Obviously, Michael Edwards is not here now, so this is a test for whether Julian Ward was involved in this, or whether it was Schmadka, this potential sporting director guy who's working with us at the moment. Whatever the case may be, this is a test of our recruitment. Has our recruitment continued to be good, or has it fallen off? Time will tell. But look, I'm enthusiastic. We needed strength. Most important thing is we've added strength in midfield, and I hope we add at least one more player in midfield and another defender to make it a good window. But we have a little bit of time to do that.
What do you guys think about Liverpool's business so far? Are you guys excited? Do you guys think Liverpool are doing enough? Because there's also, if you don't know, there's a link to another player, and I just wanted to caveat onto this also after Rack was done, because they're not stopping there. They're gonna go sign one more midfielder apparently, and right now Liverpool are in the talks to steal from Chelsea and Arsenal Romeo Lavia. They're in for Romeo Lavia. They've spoken to Romeo Lavia's representatives, and it's gone to the level where they're now expected to see some movement over Romeo Lavia's transfer next week. This is reported by Sasha. If you guys know Sasha on football transfers, he's one of those guys that talks about transfers. Sasha, I forget which publication he works for, but he's reporting that Liverpool are expected to make an offer for Romeo Lavia next week. Klopp loves him, and Lavia is encouraged that he wants to. The Belgian international wants to come to Liverpool, and of course, this will be part of their project for the 2023-2024 season. Romeo Lavia is 19. He's been linked to Chelsea before. He's been linked to Arsenal. He's been linked to Manchester United. Former Manchester City Academy player. Had a great season at Southampton. Southampton won around 50 million. And Liverpool have started negotiations over the signing. And we know Liverpool, when they start negotiations, they usually get it done quite quickly. So if we don't hear something about him next week, I don't know if it's going to happen. But personally, for me, I would be disappointed if you guys got him and we didn't go for him. But if we don't go for him, that means we're going to probably keep Partey. So in the long run, I'm not too worried for my situation. But Rak, how are you feeling about this?
Lavia looks like a good player. Big potential. And he had a good solid season last year. There were moments where he got caught out, but he's 19, right? So I'm not going to heap too much on his shoulders. He was arguably the best performer. Him and Bella Kocha, I thought were actually very good for Southampton, when more experienced players around Southampton that kind of let them down a lot more. So yeah, I'd like him. I think the 50 million price tag is going to be a stumbling block. I think it'll be a stumbling block for any of the clubs interested, because I don't think anybody's going to go to that kind of level. But if there's a deal there to be struck, then I think it's positive for us. But yeah, there will be competition. But, I mean, even if there's competition,
Right. I'm gonna cut the transfer talk for a second. You get 3 midfielders. I'm already seeing guys talking about competing for the league next season. Is it too early for that?
Liverpool?
Yeah. Is it too early to say Liverpool are serious contenders again?
I think Liverpool are serious contenders. I think it would be unwise for anybody to say that last year was just an off season and they're starting to really address their problems very effectively, and people just want to sleep on them.
Let me stop you right there. Everyone in the comment section, get involved. Let me know why Liverpool are or aren't serious contenders next season in the comment section. And that's what we're going to since we're talking about the transfers, we can go down that road also. What about you, Qasim? What are you saying? What do you think about their transfers, potential transfers, and are they contenders for you?
I said it to you before. Liverpool is dangerous, bro. You can't roll that. No one can roll Liverpool out. They had a bad season. Chelsea had a bad season, but we got crisis anyway from top to bottom. We start from the new owners and start getting
For Sam in the house.
Big up for Sam.
But yeah, I think if you roll Liverpool out, man, you'd be so foolish, man. Liverpool is a dangerous team, and I think I want to add something about the defense. By the way, I think I do rate Konate. By the way, I think Konate is a big player. Is fast. He's strong. I think it would take him a bit of time to adapt to the Premier League, but the second or third year now, I think he'd be all right with Van Dijk. I think Matip is finished now. Maybe they need another centre back. I don't rate Gomez. I think after the knee injury, he's done for me. It should have been loaned him or sold him. But midfield again is stronger. Don't worry about strike force. They score goals for fun. And let's look, they finished the season strong, bro. They gone 7, 8, 9 games unbeaten, winning. Liverpool, you can't sleep in Liverpool, bro. It's dangerous team, dangerous manager.
There you go. Some people saying Liverpool are showing ambition, unlike Man United. Some people saying Liverpool are back. Some people are saying, pick up Hussam in the chat saying, Mojo, you're a smart man.
Hey, he knows what he's talking about, man. That guy, he knows what he's talking
about. There's a lot of stuff going on with Man City, but we're gonna save these Man City points for later, guys. Anything you guys say to other stuff, we'll save it. Big up. Let me just go to Alan. And people, don't forget to hit that like button. Have we passed 100 likes yet? What's going on, people? We're literally one more, then we get 100 likes. Everyone right now, hit that like button. Alan, take it away, man. What do you think? Are Liverpool back?
So, look, we had this discussion, was it last week when Hassan was back on the show? And me and Hassan were saying that if Liverpool buy right this window, they will be the ones challenging Man City over Liverpool and over Man United and all that. And this is another step in the right direction for them, addressing, like Mojo said, addressing their problems in midfield. They had a bad start season, and then over the end of the season, they showed why they were Liverpool. They got obviously back to winning ways. They were more consistent. Yeah, they did miss out on Champions League football, but now they're addressing their midfield problems by McAllister, and obviously I will butcher his name. I will not pronounce it because I am horrendous at that. Him, yes, him. Literally, they are addressing their problems. You may say that they may need another defender at the back and all that. You know, I think that, like, even if they didn't, they've got quality back there to, you know, that might be a weak spot, but they're addressing all their problems. They've still got quality players up front. Liverpool will be the main threat to Man City if they continue doing business the way they do.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I still think they need a defender and one more midfielder. If they get a defender and one more midfielder, they're fully equipped. Now all they need is those players to acclimatize to the league, adjust, and you know what? They could definitely be a serious threat. But the thing that Liverpool have that Arsenal don't have, they've been there, done it before. So they have that experience.
Not only just that, their depth, guys. I do think people underestimate Liverpool's depth and the improvement they've made on that side. You compare that to the team that they had before that they were competing Man City with. They basically had a first 11 and that was about it. Whereas this time you can look at it and I'm like, they can put valuable players on the bench to come in off the bench and actually make a difference for the team. I think what I really like about them that I was criticizing about, I think 2 seasons ago, I said Liverpool at some point had to do a rebuild of some kind. They have to start addressing that for the long term. Liverpool have done that. Liverpool are doing that. And I think I understand, obviously, Liverpool fans want to see their team competing and being at the level that they are. They don't want to see that drop off again. But you have to understand the market is inflated. The market is crazy. The market has so many teams now all operating towards the same type of players. What it means is it's so easy to overpay for players. Hence why one of the things that I'm very jealous about Liverpool for is, say a player is quoted 60 million for us lot, Liverpool somehow managed to find him for 40 million. I don't know how they do it, but I think that's just very...
I think there's a manager, Mo. I think there's a manager in it. Manager play a big part, isn't it? The manager...
I think the club as a whole, the club as a whole, bro. I just think they're not rushing the process and making themselves look out so desperate and so panicky on the transfer side. And I understand Liverpool fans might disagree with why I'm saying what I'm saying, but trust me, I'm on the other side, guys. My team likes to throw money at problems and think that it will fix everything. It doesn't always. Sometimes you have to be more calculated. Sometimes you have to be more composed. Sometimes you have to do your due diligence and see how you can get better deals and more value for your money. And I think that's where Liverpool have been a bit more smarter than people realize, especially the fact that they have done a rebuild almost completed this rebuild, in my opinion, to a really good level. And they've not spent anywhere near as much as some of the other clubs that they will be competing with. I think that, to me, in itself, is credit where credit is due.
Did they spend a bit of money? Did they spend a bit of money? But I think
Liverpool they have, but for other teams,
no, I understand.
Yeah.
I think the big factor is, I think the manager for me. I think the manager is like Gvardiol for me. He attracts the players, and he's got that type of player to fit the system. But look, Chelsea go and signing players left, right, and centre. Liverpool and Manchester City, they're signing the right profile to fit the system. Guardiola's got his own system. Klopp has got his own system, and they choose the like of Diaz, the like of Mo Salah, the like of Mane. This player fit the system and the philosophy. Chelsea go and I want to speak about Chelsea right now. And Manchester City is the same. If you look at Manchester City, they signed the like of Diaz, the defender. They signed the players like Bernardo Silva before. They signed a player like that, and this player wasn't expensive. 40 million. 50 million. The budget was maximum was 60 million, except of Grealish. Grealish had to spend 100 million. Haaland only cost 60 million, was release clause. But it's still in.
I mean, his wages.
We're going to get on to Chelsea next, I promise. But just before we go any further, Rack, what do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think Liverpool are now contenders next season?
So, look, one of the things that Mojo said is right. Look, the Liverpool fans, they don't like it when stuff comes out in the media saying we don't have money to spend, But ultimately, if you've got a lot of money to spend, it doesn't make sense to tell people you have a lot of money to spend anyway, because then people are just going to bump their price up. It always makes sense to tell people you have less money than you have, right? Because otherwise people are going to ask for more money. So, yeah, in that sense, it makes sense. I think there's a couple of things. It still remains to be seen with some of these players that we've brought in, whether they have the ultimate top quality level that we've signed in recent years. You know,
I can't say it's a Premier League proven though. I can't say
but like, is Nunes going to become a world class striker? That's questionable. Is Szoboszlai going to come in?
Are you saying no, not yet?
I'm saying it's we don't know. We just don't know. And in terms of next season, whether we're going to be ready to challenge, we're addressing a lot of the weaknesses that we've had, and that's all you can do. Again, how long is it going to take for some of these guys to hit the ground running? I hope it doesn't take long at all. I hope the new guys that come in are enamored by Klopp and are enthusiastic and are ready to deliver.
With chest or we're beefing. He's basically saying, get off the fence, Rack. If you had to, if let me give you a scenario.
He's like, where is your chest, Rex?
Gun to your head, you had to predict if Liverpool were going to challenge next season or not challenge next season. You're saying to yourself, you're not.
I know. I think if we carry on, because again, 2 players is not enough. If we carry on recruiting 2 more players, so another midfielder and a defender of this kind of quality, I'll be confident we can challenge. Will we beat Man City? The crazy thing with City is they're losing a lot of players.
Will you beat Arsenal? That's another question.
Yeah, but City. But look, listen,
Miguel,
if we beat City, we beat Arsenal, right? Arsenal are the team to beat. Sorry, City are the team to beat. So by definition, if we beat City, we also beat Arsenal.
Not necessarily.
I mean, not necessarily. No, the world could end tomorrow. Not necessarily, but you know.
No, but that's assuming that City stay at the same level, Arsenal stay at the same level, and then you overtake both of us.
Sure.
Yeah. Rax, is Hassan's comment correct that you bench 500 kilos, but you can't say that you can challenge?
No, Hussam wants somebody else to shave their heads with him, innit? Don't listen to it. Don't listen to it.
This hair is staying there.
Don't listen to him, man.
I just want to let everyone know I'm going to be on Hussam's channel later tonight. We're going to be talking about all this. So if you guys want to check that out, don't forget to check that out. I think that's enough on Liverpool for now. We got to talk about Chelsea though. But Rack, very, very professional way of getting out of it. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
Politician, Rack is a politician, man.
Hey, he's calm and collected, man. He's not selling you dreams out here.
Big up Staffy. Staffy joined us late. So we're gonna now go to the six people screen. And you've just joined us just in time to talk about Chelsea, and then we're gonna talk about United. I think we're gonna save Arsenal for last because
wait, you guys didn't finish United yet?
No, we haven't mentioned United.
So I have to talk about Mason Mount?
No.
All right, because I was about to drop right away.
No, you're good. You don't have to talk about
You're
Mason
gonna
Mount.
say that.
I was
Yeah.
like, hopefully an
You
hour
don't
in,
have
they
to
already
talk
talked
Mason
about
Mount
United.
yet. Today we're talking about Rasmus Hojlund and Onana. But
Okay.
quickly, I just want to show you guys something I've seen about Chelsea. This is crazy. This is crazy. Let's look at this. Apparently, Chelsea are not going to get a strike. This is more for my guy. Not Mojo. Mojo's not going to freak out over this. But Kepa, you're not going to get a starting keeper. You're going to get a backup for Kepa. Apparently, from Fabrizio Romano, reported by Fabrizio Romano. You're going to get a backup for Kepa. The situation with thing is still ongoing with Caicedo. Of course, talks are still ongoing. We're going to see what happens there, but I still believe you're going to get Caicedo. It looks like Lavia, you guys are now third in the pecking order, as Chelsea are still keen on Romeo Lavia, but your priority is Caicedo. Liverpool are working on the Lavia deal. Arsenal are trying to sell Partey and Xhaka in order to get the money for him. So that's ongoing situation. I don't really know what's going on with Levi Colwell. I'm going to have to ask you guys what's going on with that. I seen this is your away kit. Is this actually your away kit?
Apparently so. That's what's been
apparently, yeah.
That looks
Oh,
tough.
that's filth. That's
I don't know.
I
don't know if I like it because it could look better if it's like.
Does it give you Man City vibes?
It gives me spiderweb vibes.
It gives me Soccer Aid vibes, guys. I'm not gonna lie to
Yeah,
you.
exactly. It gives me 1970s vibes.
That's a tough jersey.
I don't know what to
Yeah.
tell you guys.
Bro,
I'm gonna be honest.
This is Spider-Man for me. I don't know about you guys.
Look, if you see me wearing that shirt next season, guys, just mind your goddamn business, all right? I have to support the club, man. We gotta make signings.
Yeah, and apparently these are some of the Chelsea returnees from loan. I've never heard of them.
Wait, is Ampadu still on this team?
First of all, what do you mean you've never heard
This
of
guy's
them?
been on this team for like a decade.
I didn't recognize him without his hair.
Because he cut his hair.
Say that. Okay, all
Right,
right,
this
say
is-
that.
this is-
I said, who the hell are these guys?
I know Siri. I know Callum Hudson-Odoi. I don't recognize this guy.
Isn't that Kennedy or whatever?
No.
No.
No, Kennedy's gone. Who's this?
This is what's his name? Fuck. Even I've
I'm not
forgotten,
sure.
bro. He's not staying. He's not staying. Even I've forgotten,
then,
guys.
guys,
This
guess what?
squad's too big.
Chelsea striker at this moment in time is Nicholas Jackson, new signing. We don't know too much about him. Hopefully, maybe he'll become good. Romelu Lukaku still at Chelsea.
Andorin, there you go. Someone said it.
And Christopher Nkunku has just signed. And in addition to that, you also have David Fofana.
Broha. We have
And
Broha as
Broha.
well. Yeah.
Felix is no longer on contract to Chelsea. What else is going on? Oh, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the news. But the main thing I want to ask you, what is really going on at Chelsea? Because I'm hearing Levi Colwell is going to start. I'm hearing you need a keeper. Looks like you're now only going to get a backup keeper. You need two midfielders. Looks like you're still stalling on the Caicedo deal. And you guys all speak about getting a striker. I don't really believe you guys are going to go spend all that money on Victor Osimhen this summer. It doesn't sound logical to me. But hey, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from the two Chelsea fans. Mojo, if you want to go first, let me know.
All right, let's start it very, very simply, guys. We are officially rebuilding correctly. Finally, I can say that. And it started in January. We're continuing in that same trend. And I would say to you that quite a few Chelsea fans, although they were very high about saying, we want a major clear out, they're not appreciating the final clear out that's actually happening at my club. I have been waiting for this day for so goddamn long. We are finally doing a proper clear out of players that are either not committed, not useful, not suitable to what we're trying to do going forward, and not part of our long-term picture. With that being said, and we are being a lot more slow and a bit more composed in terms of signings. There are certain signings that we've made ages ago. They're just being announced right now, so that to some people it may seem like we're just making free transfer signings and stuff. No, some of these signings were already kind of confirmed to us ages ago, but they were only going to get announced after July the 1st. I'm quite happy to see that we're doing this clear out, because I've been saying this to Chelsea fans. We really need to build a stable foundation. I think for me, Pochettino is getting to Chelsea at the right time, where there is a restructuring that has fully happened, and he's able to kind of look at a fresh squad, have fresh players that are all going to be wanting to have a point to prove. Some of the ones that are remaining from obviously the clear out are the ones that we believe that we can invest our time into. For me, what's really important about all of this is we don't make big signings for no freaking reason. We make signings that are actually appropriate for what we need them to be. Enzo Fernandez, for me, that money was well spent. People will disagree. People will say all kinds of wild stuff. But now that Declan Rice is going for as much as he has, now that you're seeing big clubs do what is necessary to sign the targets they want, people will understand why Caicedo is the type of guy that we are trying to be so careful in getting the right amount for Brighton so that it's not a long sort of negotiation. People are nervous, and rightly so, because at the end of the day, there are other clubs that will be circling around for these players. But it looks like at the moment, things seem to be falling in our favor. When it comes to the striker situation, I've said this to Chelsea fans. I am absolutely done with spending 100+ million on strikers to try and see if they will work. I'm done with it. Hence why I back these types of signings like your Nicholas Jackson, like Broha being given a chance, because in my opinion, that's where our ideas can come a lot better from at this point in time. We are so bad at looking at a striker and saying, oh, this is how he fits into us. This is his best traits, bringing him over to this league and getting the best out of them. So why do that when you can just do it far more calculated with far less costs that you have to obviously part with to get those players? To me, Victor Osimhen, I rate him. But do I rate him for this 150 million or whatever that Napoli is rating him for? Hell to the F no. I'm sorry. We're done doing that. Romelu Lukaku is still at my club. Point number one. I'm not doing that shit again. Simple as. So please, Chelsea fans, you're not going to agree with me. I understand, because you all want to compete immediately right away. We're not in a place to compete for the Champions League. Of course, we're out of it. But also in the Premier League, at this moment in time, because we didn't have the foundations. Let us build the foundations properly, and then let's talk about competing to the season after, hopefully.
So you're okay with the strikers you currently have plus Kepa?
Kepa, so this is where I stand on the goalkeeper situation. Personally, I don't agree with the decision. I would like a keeper. I think I'd rather know that the keeper is somebody that I can trust to do the shot-stopping side of the game. Kepa is someone that I don't trust in that department. Kepa, however, is not bad for what we're aiming to do this season. In other words, top four, we've gotten it with Kepa in the past. I think it's totally doable again. We just need to fix the collective issue far more than we need to just fix the goalkeeper issue. The goalkeeper issue for me is like the striker situation. If you're going to get it right, sign the player. If you can't get it right, don't freaking rush this decision, because in my opinion, we can't do another Kepa. We can't do another Romelu Lukaku. I'm bored and tired of spending big money for people that aren't delivering up to what we're asking them to deliver.
We've seen
sounds like you have a lot to get off your chest. Qasim, I'm going to ask you the same questions. So looks like Kepa's going to be starting as in goal for you guys next season. Looks like you currently don't have a striker. Would you be willing to spend 100 million on a Victor Osimhen? And two midfielders need to come in, and neither of them have yet to come in. And plus, are you guys also going to be starting Levi Kowa in center half?
Yeah. Just let me. His name is Mo, isn't it? It's Mo, isn't it?
Yeah, Mo. Yeah.
Yes, Mo. Yeah. Listen, bro. First of all, we spent 600 million. So for us, not challenging. I find that very bizarre. 600 million. We should be automatically go in the league. Point number one.
We finished 12th, my brother. I just want to remind you. But
and I understand where we finished, but we spent 600. Any team, no too many team in the Premier League spend even 300 million, bro. So if you spent 600 million last year, you should be automatically go win the league. That's point number one. Point number two, right? Kepa, bro, and I mentioned that over and over again. Listen, in order for any team to challenge and get closer to City, Liverpool and City last 5 years have been the benchmark. You have to have the spine right. The goalkeeper, the centre back, the midfielder, and the striker. If you don't have that right, it's going to be long for everyone. Our goalkeeper is not good enough to play for League One. I mentioned that. Thiago Silva finished 2 years ago. Midfield have been absolutely rotten for the last 2-3 years. And the striker, we know. We spend it last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. We get Morata, we got Torres. It's just been number 9. It's been crisis for us. Right. Let me go back to Enzo Fernandez. He's not worth 120 million. I disagree with that. He's not worth 120
Who said he was?
No, nobody's worth the money in today's market.
No, you said we paid the right money for him because you mentioned Declan.
No,
Rice,
we paid the money that we needed to get the play that we wanted. That's what I said. It doesn't mean I think he's worth the amount. Nobody is.
Did we need to spend 120 million on him?
I think we did because our midfield was dying.
No, so
Before him, our
do you
midfield was
agree?
dying. You
Do
even
you agree
said
with
it.
that price though? Do you agree we bid 120 million?
I
Do you agree
literally
with
just said to you a second ago, no, I don't think that's the
Cousin, to
type of
be
price.
fair, everyone is going for over asking prices. Anthony was not
I think
90
that's
million.
what
that?
Martin
No.
Declan Rice is not 105. This guy wasn't 120.
I think Mo said. Listen, Mo said. Look at I rate
I think
Oshie.
Mo agrees with you.
Well, yeah. No, I agree with the guy. But my point I'm trying to make is that I want to clarify. I'm not here to challenge anyone. I'm just here to clarify. Right?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine, bro.
Yeah. It's Enzo Fernandez is not worth 120 million. If you ask him about Declan Rice, I think Declan Rice is a better player for me. I think he's Premier League proven. He's captain from young age, and he's versatile. He can play, and he's quicker. He's quicker. When Enzo Fernandez is not quick. Point number one. And he came from foreign league. I know people are going to say the World Cup.
Okay, what about the striker?
Who?
Would you spend 120 million? Would you spend 120 million on Victor Osimhen?
Yes, I do. If you spend 120 million in yes, I do.
Okay, but he's not worth 120 million, but you would spend 120 million on Victor Osimhen.
Yeah, I would. Because listen, if you're going to spend 120 million on Enzo Fernandez, you have to spend 120 million on a striker. You have to.
No, you don't. Why do you have to?
You have to, bro. You have to.
Why?
Go ahead. We don't have anyone scoring goals.
No,
and
I
said it.
We weren't creating.
Let me finish, bro. And you can come back to me, right? Let me finish, right? I said it in a football terrace with Terry. When Chelsea beat Dortmund and he went to quarterfinal, all Chelsea fans was excited. And I said, listen, that's the end. Chelsea going to make the quarterfinal and is out. And Terry asked me, why do you think it's going to be out? I said, we don't have anyone scoring goals. And that's becoming an issue because we got rid of Lukaku. It was an issue anyway. And we kept Kai Havertz. We don't score goals. My point I'm trying to make is, right, and we've got an issue with a centre back. All Chelsea fans emotional about Thiago Silva. He's finished. And I said that. It's finished. He can't play in the Premier League anymore. So that's an issue you have to address. I don't have an issue with a goalkeeper. It's clear as a day, bro. A goalkeeper...
So your transfer window is not over, but do you believe you're going to bring in the quality you need to be happy with your squad?
Listen, any goalkeeper. Listen, my number one target.
You're going to bring in a goalkeeper. He's just not going to be Mike McGallis and Mike Mignon.
No. Egal. My number one goalkeeper target in the Premier League proven, is Martinez for Aston Villa. He's a World Cup winner. He's an FA Cup winner with Arsenal. And he played huge part in the quarterfinal, semi-final, and the World Cup. He's my number one target. I take Martinez in the heartbeat, bro. I think he's a anyone disagree with you.
The price tag for Martinez would be more than Mike Mignon.
I think Martinez has got 2 years left in his contract. I believe it's 2 years left in his contract. So
but why is Aston Villa going to give him to us on the cheap then?
No, I think it'd be worth 40 million. I would pay 40 million for Martinez.
But your club made it clear they don't want to pay too much money for a goalkeeper.
That's why I disagree with Pochettino, though. Pochettino, I think, listen, I'll give him a chance as everybody else, but I disagree with him. For him saying Kepa is my number one is absolutely crisis for me. Kepa, Thiago Silva, long, bro.
Okay.
We'll go around the circle again.
Let Mojo respond. Mojo, did you have anything to say before we add the rest of the boys in?
I think people don't understand the fact that we've thrown money at problems in the past and it's not worked. We're not willing to learn lessons from it. For me, the lessons are very clear to learn. It's not about how we are spending. It's not about how much money we're spending. It's about how we're spending it. We're not identifying problems correctly. We're not looking at the collective squad issues that we really need to address. Instead, what we're doing is we're trying to just say, go get me the best player in each position. That will fix the issue. But you don't know if those players are now going to work together because you don't know if those profiles fit the manager that you've just hired. For me, I'd rather be more calculated about these things, take short-term pain, which I've explained.
1 second. Mojo,
I don't want to keep Kepa.
Right. So what do you think about Poch saying Kepa is going to be my number one? What do you make of that?
I don't agree with it, but I can see why he wants to.
So are you okay with Nicholas Jackson?
That's where I'm at.
1 second.
So for me, go ahead. Sorry.
Are you okay with Nicholas Jackson starting in your striker position?
I don't know why we assume that it's going to be Nicholas Jackson that starts. I think Bro is there. The place is there for whoever wants to.
That's how
you think Lukaku gets a chance?
Lukaku is not getting a chance, bro. Lukaku is not coming back to Chelsea Football Club. We know that already. That's a fact. He does not want to come back. We don't want him back. It's simple as. I think when it comes to addressing our issues, we've had several issues. These owners came to our club at a time when I'll be honest, the club was in its worst state ever, and people have not been seeing that this has been coming, whereas I have. I didn't expect us to finish 12th last year, don't get me wrong, but I've been saying a capitulation is coming at Chelsea Football Club because Thomas Tuchel is holding us up. We are not this good. We're not as good as we're looking here, guys. And I've been saying that to people. Our players are not as good. They're not coachable. They're not suitable for each other. They're not suitable to the football we're trying to play. And it's literally shown to us over the course of 2 years, a capitulation that we have seen and we've understood to be what it is. Instead of then saying, with these new owners, I think they came in guns blazing and thought, hey, we can fix things with money. Saw what they did that summer and realized, oh my God, we've lost the manager. We spend crazy money. And from January onwards, when they had those people in the behind the scenes that they were supposed to hire, that's when they started for me making things that seem far more aligned. I'm not saying to Chelsea fans, I guarantee that we will be a success with everything these lot are doing. I think they'll make mistakes like they've already done. But what I am saying is I'm happy to see them try something different, because I am bored of us as Chelsea fans thinking that we as Chelsea Football Club are entitled to be competitive because we've spent money. We are entitled to be competitive because these other teams that we're supposed to be facing, they are all supposed to be...
It's not entitled, bro. You're expected. Be honest.
No, but no. It is entitlement.
This,
I'll explain why I even say it's entitlement. Because for me, the entitlement comes from the fact that we're spending money and these guys just say we're supposed to compete. That's not how it works. There are teams above us that have better structure than us. Some of these teams have better structure than us.
So do you think we're in the right direction, though? Do you think we're in the right direction?
Yes, 100%. Because
wait. So selling, wait. Relax now. So you selling Mason Mount? You're selling Mason Mount?
Correct decision. Huh? Correct decision, because he wants to go, bro. He wants to go. Why am I keeping? Why am I keeping a player? Why am I keeping a player that does not want to be at my club any longer? For whatever the reason,
did you ask the question?
Whatever the reason, I don't mind. Whatever the reason is.
No.
Whatever the reason is. Whatever the reason is. One thing is clear: there was going to be no resolution that allowed both people to be happy. The club comes first. I don't care, bro.
No.
That's how I put it.
Let me come to you now, bro. Let me come to you.
Go for it.
Don't use the term about the club come first. That guy doesn't love this club. He bought him. No, because this guy came from the academy.
I didn't say the guy doesn't love the club.
Let me finish.
But don't quote what I didn't say then, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. Okay. Now, basically, you're assuming to that. The guy came from the academy, and obviously all that big YouTube and all the community saying it's his fault, he needs to go, he doesn't want to. I'm not buying that. This guy came from the academy, okay, and he was promised to be even Chelsea captain. Correct me if I'm wrong, but look, the guy is 24 years old, is a Champions League winner, right? And is 2 times Chelsea best player and top scorer. So to sell him to rival for 60 million, I think that you telling me we're in the right track. I disagree with that, bro. You don't.
Do you want me to be honest with you?
Yeah.
Do you want me to be honest with you?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Mason Mount last year was not one of our best.
So does everybody else.
Number one. Yeah. Like I said, let me finish. Mason Mount was not one of our best players last year, right? For me, we make Mason Mount far more important than the club is. The club is what's the most important thing. I want to fix the club so that the club is competing where they need to. Making it about Mason Mount, that if we don't have this kid in our club, we can't succeed, to me is ridiculous. I'm sorry. I won a chance. I'm sorry. Like literally, there's not, because we won a Champions League, there were other players playing with him, and they've also, most of them have been sold already. So to me, why am I going to make it about this kid, bro? The kid is not about. It's not about him for me. Kai Havertz, another player that's been sold. I don't care, bro. If they're
no. They're very nice. I don't care about Kai Havertz, bro. I don't care.
But they gotta go. No, but if they're not committed, that's what my point is. The principle is the same. If they're not committed to Chelsea Football Club and what we're trying to build, and the fact that we want to compete, they can go. Show them the door, bro. We've literally just said the same thing about Harry Kane, who is one of the best players that Spurs Football Club has ever seen. Bro, I'm not here for any sentiments.
Harry Kane, what? Harry Kane, no.
One second.
Listen. More.
Qasim, 1 second. You guys have been going back and forth for a while. Great debate, but I feel like I just want to put a lid to it because I feel like we need to kind of keep the conversation flowing. With Chelsea, they need 4 signings, in my opinion. They need a striker, they need 2 midfielders, and a goalkeeper. Do you guys agree with that?
Center back.
You also want center back.
100%, bro.
I would say
let me ask you
two
more. What do you make
midfielders.
of Thiago Silva? Did you want him to start next year?
Why is he starting next year? He doesn't need
Where-
to. Fofana
What do you
and
mean?
Colwill are
Bro,
there.
Fofana's injury prone and Koulibaly's gone. So who are you going to start?
Bro, we are going to start with the players we invested in. I don't understand.
Well, which
why is
players
this even
start?
Fofana? We've
bro,
invested in him.
We paid 80 million for Fofana. And
Exactly.
he's
So
injury
we
prone.
start him. We start
One
him.
second. I'm not sure what this comment says, but if you have to convince them to carry the
bricks,
they ain't the ones to build with.
That's a
Great-
James score.
Great comment. Great comment.
That is a very good comment. Honestly, that's going in the Hall of Fame right there. Big up
This
my
is
guy.
this is the thing for me, right? I look at the things for what they are, man. If you make an investment into a player, you've got to give them the chance to see if we can make them succeed. We can't just be benching these players thinking, oh, he's injury prone. Bruv, work on the injury proneness. It's clearly a
Mo,
fitness
who
issue.
said you benching him? I'm asking you a question. To keep Thiago Silva, correct me if I'm wrong.
Thiago
right?
Silva is a good experienced player to have. He doesn't need to play every game,
I'm
however.
not disputing that. I'm not disputing that. If you're giving Thiago Silva as a 1 year contract, 1, 2, 3, whatever it is, I can guarantee. Listen, I can tell you right now, and I will remind you one day if I see you again, bro. Thiago Silva will play every week. What about that? So now, see, I have an issue with that though. I have an issue with that because I heard a lot of people say, "Oh, as long as Thiago Silva play and he'll got a good D in front of him, that's nonsense, bro." I think Thiago Silva.
I'm ready to move on, bro. Like I said to you,
all right.
I'm ready to move on because I want to build for the long term. Thiago Silva is not going to be here 2 years from now. So why am I going to invest that time into him? I'd rather be calculated about decisions. Where I think Thiago Silva fits and fits for a match because he's more experienced or his traits fit more to a game, play Thiago Silva. I don't mind. Fofana can hold bench. Fofana can learn from him. However, if there's games where Fofana is definitely the guy for it, bro, put Fofana in. I'm not here to hide away from any of this stuff, bro. I'm here to say we are investing in young players, and I want us to build these young players together so that we have a squad of first 11s and players that I can play underneath and come on from the bench and contribute all in the same nature. But right now,
you guys are agreeing.
Why are we going to wait?
You guys are agreeing. You guys are both saying Thiago Silva is not going to have a big role to play next season. Alan, go ahead.
They're agreeing on that, but look, if I'm being honest and all that, I'm looking at it like Mojo's spitting facts here and all that. You literally need players to play the way and it's not just to do it, and it is because and you can go back and look on the football terrace and all that. When 2 years ago, when Kane was being linked with Man City, I said if he doesn't want to be here, get Kane on, take the money for him. So I'm not just trying to pick and choose the fight and all that. I've been consistent with Kane, I've been consistent with Spurs players, and I say the same with Chelsea. If you've got Chelsea players that aren't buying into Poch, aren't buying into that, or don't want to be at the club, you get rid of them. It comes across, some Chelsea fans come across, like Mojo said, as entitled in the fact that we've got all these millions because a shiny new toy got damaged or wasn't as shiny or as new as I thought it was going to be. I want a new one. It's like, no, you spent loads of money. You've got to let Pochettino build this team or get his ideas across with the people that want to be there and go from there. Just to go, oh, I need another £60 million defender. I need another £80 million midfielder. It's not going to happen. You're still going to buy players, but the people you've got there as a basis for that team isn't terrible. If you think it's terrible, then I'm sorry. Then you've got to be one of the most mismanaged clubs in the Premier League, maybe in the world. You've got quite a lot.
The transfer window is not over, so it looks messy. Yeah. But the moment they sign,
I'll tell you now. Although I hate with Poch being there and that, Pochettino will actually turn Chelsea round within the next 2 years. Simple as the type of player he's played, the quality that they've got there as well. You will see Pochettino getting Chelsea playing good football, and you will be there challenging for trophies within 2 seasons. Simple as that. But
exactly how I feel, by the way.
Pick up John.
If you've not just because Thiago Silva can still do a job. I'm not saying he's going to be your main defender, but he's still got the quality that if you're short and all that, he's going to step in and do a good job. He's not going to be a consistent play 38 games a season because we know.
Alan, he will be our main defender. Trust me when I tell you that, bro.
Even if he is, he's still got qualities that some of your defenders ain't.
So Alan, that's my point. I disagree with you though. If he's going to be our main defender, I disagree with you though.
Okay,
no, but that's assuming he's
that's
the
fine.
main defender.
Yeah,
exactly. We don't know this. One second, Rack wanted to add in something. Rack, what are you saying?
So, look, I'm much more of a similar opinion to Mojo. Chelsea in the past have got by putting sticking plasters and spending money on problems, and now for the first time in a while, they are looking at holistically at the issues in the squad and trying to resolve them. They made mistakes. The 600 million that they've spent, there have been mistakes in there. Perhaps they went too quickly. Maybe there were issues with Graham Potter, and for whatever reason, it hasn't quite worked out. But long term, Chelsea aren't going to spend the kind of money that Abramovich spent, relatively speaking, longer term. Yeah. Chelsea are going to be a self-sustaining club like Arsenal, like Liverpool, like Spurs, and well, I mean, we'll see what happens with Man United. But Man United self-sustaining at the moment as it stands, because there's talks about, whether they've got enough money to spend as well, right? So, and ultimately, the vast majority of clubs have to live under that kind of model. And the only way really to be successful and to spend that money correctly is to have a proper structure in place. Like I said, mistakes have been made. And
I'm not, I never disputed all that. I never disputed
No. But one second. But also, the issues that Chelsea have, say for Chelsea have got five issues, whatever you've got to prioritise.
Yes.
If Kepa is a problem, everybody agrees. Everybody who I know is a Chelsea fan says Kepa's a problem. But if they see other issues as being more pressing, and they think, okay, we can get by a season with Kepa because there are bigger holes to fill, and then we'll deal with Kepa next season, it makes sense. Whether that's the right decision, we don't know. Time will tell. But as long as all you can do is deal with the logic, and the logic for that reason.
You know what, guys? We spent a lot of time on this. Big up everyone. I don't know. Do you have anything to add on, Staffy, or do you want to just move on? What are you saying, Staffy? You there? Staffy,
Mason,
jumped out.
I'm here. I'm here.
About Mason now, man.
I'm here.
The last thing,
Staffy, you got anything to add on, or you want to change the topic? What are you saying?
No,
I'm ready to change the topic, but Alan sounds like he wants to say something.
I just want to say I think we have spent enough time on Chelsea. Fuck Chelsea. Chelsea shit. No,
look, we're gonna
it's the Spurs fan, isn't it?
we're gonna go to Man City quickly. Because Man City, there's news. They're stepping up talks, advanced negotiation, $86 million price tag for Gvardiol. Now, I spoke to a City fan on the latest stream that we did on Thursday, and this is like exactly what they want to play the system that they want going forward, with the 3 center halves in the back and everything, and the way that they're going to change their formation around him. He's going to be a pivotal part to it. The amount of money they're talking about the deal being somewhat already negotiated, somewhat close. They're saying stepping up talks. Now, let me just give you guys some of the latest articles. They're expecting that this could reach close to 100 million euros, the total package, as that's what's currently being reported. There's also some other reports that I'm seeing that the player wants to join City, and his desire is to play for City. He wants to join City, and he doesn't want to join anybody else, obviously. So at this moment in time, this is the guy we need to talk about. We need to talk about Gvardiol. He's the one that everyone's talking about. Let's be honest, in the World Cup, probably one of the most highly touted center halves in the world at this moment in time, and 100 million euros is now the going rate for some of these players, as we learned over at Arsenal with Declan Rice. Anyone debating the price? Probably not, because nowadays inflation.
You can debate the price, but we all know this is the absolute norm. It's such a common theme.
Yeah, 100 million is the norm. 100 million is the norm. I think Man City get this player. They take their squad depth to another level. They replace Laporte with one of the best upcoming center halves in world football. And Kyle Walker is almost like he's also going to probably leave. But if he stays, their squad depth is going to be just as strong, or maybe even stronger. Because now Stones is probably going to be a midfielder full time. Think about it. Anyone have anything to say?
I'm not sure Stones is a good enough solely as a midfielder. I think that the skill set he's moving from central defence into midfield. I think you can have some holes.
Yeah, but originally, Catch, he was a midfielder for Barnsley, though. When he used to play for Barnsley, he originally was a midfielder.
I'm talking about elite level.
He done it in the Champions League, though. It was great in the final, though. He was one of the best players in the picture, though.
He could definitely continue to play that role where he tucks in. But in the case that anything happens to Rodri, they don't have a DM. Let's be honest, Calvin Phillips is not that guy. So It allows them to not play that other center half. But I feel like you guys aren't engaged in this. This is not a transfer that gets you guys excited, obviously, because City's just going to continue to dominate.
Because saying Stones is not good enough to play in the midfield is insane to me after the season he just had.
Yeah, I thought
You
No,
know,
but
like
he-
the way
he
he
was-
just played, he looked so
but he wasn't-
effortless.
But he wasn't a pure midfielder, and it's different coming from deeper. It's arguably more like a sweeper used to play than a traditional midfielder. Because
But did you watch him in the final, Rack? Because it seems like you didn't watch the Champions League final.
no, I did watch.
Yeah, he was one of the best players. Yeah.
He was one of the best
No,
players
what
on the
Champions
pitch,
League
and
final?
you just said,
What Champions League final?
elite level. There's
I-
nothing more elite than a Champions League final.
But week in, week out, playing in central midfield, I think is a different ball game.
But,
Yeah, but let
Rack, you
me
need
add
to
something to that.
understand. One second, Kasim.
Yeah,
That's
sorry,
the thing
sorry,
about
go ahead.
Pep Guardiola, though. He's always had these defenders that play into midfield. You know, when you look at his days in Barcelona, he's done that. That's why he had people like Mascherano playing in defense. So
Yeah,
when,
that's the other way around. That's a midfielder playing in defense. That's not a
okay,
defender moving
you
into
can say the
midfield.
same thing about Kimmich. He used to put Kimmich in right back so he can push into the midfield.
I mean, but
He's
yeah,
always done things with midfielders and defenders where he puts them either in defense or as DM. Listen, Stones can be a fourth defender with them, but when they get the ball, he's still going to push in the midfield. You can imagine, just picture the formation, how you want before the game. On the ball, they're different.
But I don't have a problem with that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, if you're asking him to permanently be a midfielder and not drop back in defense and solely hold that position, which someone like Rodri does, that he doesn't even really drop in between centre backs or anything like that, then I don't think that's his, or at least not. It's questionable whether that's his game. I can't. Pep season week in, week out. But
I think you're more focused on the idea that he was listed as a center back all these years, and this is what you know him for.
Guys,
that you
I think
refuse
there's
to
one
see him
more.
as a midfielder.
I think there's one more
But
bigger.
the issue is that's why I say it's a question mark, because I haven't seen enough in that role solely, but none of us have, because he hasn't played in that role.
Yeah, it's been half a
solely.
season. I get what you're saying,
Sorry,
but that half a season we saw something that was good. Go ahead again.
1 second, guys. I just want to talk about this because I feel like this is, and Rock, if you could just please mute your mic for a second. Bernardo Silva is received 900 euros a week offer from Al Hilal, and Man City have received 80 million euros offer for the midfielder. Now, I don't think Man City are going to accept an offer below 100 million for Bernardo Silva, as he is a quality midfielder and he could easily go for upwards of 100 million euros or pounds. But at this moment in time, this kind of money being offered to Bernardo Silva, could you guys be seeing him leave the Premier League to go to Saudi? Is this a possibility?
Inshallah, he goes.
Yeah, let's inshallah. Now, Brozic, is it Brozic or something? That guy from Inter Milan, I think he's going to Nasser. He's another.
Yes,
He got. I don't know if he's gone yet or not.
Yeah, it's quality player.
I think he got confirmed.
Yeah, listen, I agree absolutely with Stuffy there. Listen, I think that's why I mentioned last week Declan Rice is the type of Gvardiol because he's versatile. He can play as a centre back, and that's what I mentioned last week. And he can play as a DM. So that's what Gvardiol.
He's not going.
Yeah, I know, but do you know? That's my point. I think
Talking about the profile.
Yeah, I think he's a fantastic midfielder, bro. I think he's going to improve City as well. I think if he plays all the time, that he's going to get better.
Oh, you're talking about Stones. I thought you were talking about Bernardo.
He can bust the ball, bro. He can bust the ball.
Kasim, respectfully, what the hell are you talking about? Forget about Rice going to City.
No. I was going back to Stone. Obviously, because
forget about Stones. What the hell is going on with this guy?
This guy will go, bro. Money talks.
Bro, I don't know. 80 million. 80 million is not enough.
80 million is not enough. Wow,
no,
that's a very good price.
I think City would value him around 100 million.
You do know this guy wants to leave anyway.
He's been wanting to leave for a while, yeah.
But would he want to go to Saudi? He's
no. That's the only plot twist in this. Is if he goes there, I'm like, I thought he wanted to go La Liga this whole time. That's literally what I thought he was doing.
linked with him as well. PSG.
Oh yeah, that's the other team I was linked with him as well. But
no, but the guy kept saying he's homesick. He kept saying he's lonely. Like
he's not. He was going to go to Barcelona. And look at this guy in the comments.
Have you not had money fixes homesickness?
look at this guy in the comments. He said, why would Bernardo leave to Saudi Arabia? What have I said he's gonna go? I said, inshallah, he goes. Is this guy even listening to us? Because you asked, would he go? And I said, inshallah. I
Okay,
don't know who's gonna go. I'm
everyone
not his
here.
agent.
Everyone here. Bernardo Silva, Man City get an offer for 80 million euros. Do they reject it? I think they reject it.
I think they keep him. I'll be honest.
Yeah, they'll keep him.
Unless the player says he wants to go, I don't see him going.
Yeah.
He keeps saying he wants to go to live in a better weather. Listen, Saudi Arabia is pretty hot over there. Maybe he wants to go over there. Ronaldo's already there. Maybe he'll tell him about all the good places.
And this is a Man United fan speaking right now. You have to understand, innit? He wants him to go so that this team becomes weak.
Oh, yeah, I hope he goes. I'm not saying he will.
No,
I said I
don't
hope
we
he
all?
goes.
Don't we all?
No, I hear you. That's why I'm like, I even hear you. You're not.
I think it was on your stream weeks ago, and I said the day Gundogan and Bernardo leave, I'll start talking about City not winning the league, and one of them is already gone. So I really hope this guy leaves.
Let's talk about something United related, Staffy. You're gonna love this. Your boy Jadon Sancho could be re-signing to Dortmund.
Yeah, man, you lot ruined him, man. I think that's the right call. Let's call it what it is, mate. I'm sorry. Kid was a talented
what it actually
kid, bro.
says is Borussia Dortmund have failed to bid to re-sign Jadon Sancho from Manchester United.
There's no way. They didn't. Why did they even bid? He just needs to leave this club, bro.
I don't think he'll go.
Bid?
I don't think he'll go. If he
goes,
goes,
what's his price in the open market? Do you think, Sancho?
They were saying 45, which I think is. I think
45.
I think
45 has been, Tottenham, I think. Is it Tottenham linking with him? Correct me if I'm wrong. Tottenham linking?
Yeah, for a little bit, but I don't know how serious it is.
No.
It's happening.
No. They ain't got that kind of money, man. I'm sorry, man.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah, man.
You know,
hey, Chelsea, 45 might not be a bad market, man. I don't know,
guys.
I think we've got more wingers, bro. We've got wingers, man.
Todd Bowley has his new manager.
That's a nice move. I like
hey,
that.
Patrick Vieira, man.
I rate Patrick Vieira, man. I like Patrick Vieira.
I rate him, man. I rate him, man.
Patrick Vieira, man.
This guy's about to get ready in the next 3 years. There's a bunch of French talent that's about to go to Chelsea because of this man. They're going to be offloading a bunch of players.
I have to say his name. Chelsea
took that Kai Havertz money and they bought a club. Never heard of that before.
Hey, what can I say, man? Thanks for the assist there, man. We appreciate it, man.
Romeo Lavia to Liverpool. We've already spoken about that. Oh, did you guys see this? Tchouameni to Arsenal and Manchester United.
Bro, we're not getting him, bro.
Is he crazy? This is dumb. I don't think this is happening.
It's never gonna happen. But
again, can I just say something about Tchouameni, bro? That Tchouameni, bro, he won't success in the Premier League. That's my. I think I watched Tchouameni. It won't.
Why not? Why not? Listen. Guys, it's not about statements. Yes, it's not about statements. It's about reasoning. Please give us a reason.
Tchouameni, when I was watching him, bro, he plays. I don't think he plays box to box. I think he's playing. It's a DM, isn't it? It's too slow, my guy, and he get caught all the time.
What's this notion about slow midfielders? Since when did midfielders have to be fast, cousin? Because this is the second time you said that today.
I tell you why. I think how I see it. Okay. How I see it, DM to me is going to be sharp and quick because if you're gonna get caught out, you're in trouble. I remember when Chelsea had Matic, bro.
Rodri's slow as hell. Rodri's very slow, and he's one of the best DMs.
Yeah. I remember when Chelsea had Matic. Okay, Matic in his prime wasn't that slow. No, he wasn't.
He was slow, but he wasn't that slow.
I don't think he even started for Real Madrid.
This was supposed to be a segment where we just laugh about the link and just keep it moving because we know.
But Kasim has a lot of hot takes, so sometimes I gotta understand what kind of
Kasim is literally football terrorist, bro. He's literally come with the football terrorist mentality.
Oh, come on, more man. I just said I played football more, so I judge you the way I played football. When I see player, especially the Premier League is going to be quick. You got to be strong. If you're
breaking news. Kasim said he'd be more successful in the Premier League than Tchouameni.
Who's that?
You. That's like Kasim.
Who's that player? Is that Januzaj?
No.
Januzaj? Oh, you're talking about the picture, no?
Max Killerman. He basically rejected Wolves.
We have to talk about Wolves. You know, they seem to be going on a selling spree. Like I don't know
think they're getting relegated, bro.
Yeah, they're getting relegated.
Yeah, what's happening? Are they preparing themselves?
They're financially not stable. Look at this. They're buying players from Brentford for 23 mil.
No, they've sold him to Brentford.
Oh, no, they sold him.
Yeah, Nathan Collins used to play for them.
What's going on?
And he was one of their best defenders.
Guys, Buffon is going to Saudi Arabia. Everyone's going to Saudi Arabia.
Hey, bad as well. He should have even
go collect that money, mate. Go collect that money, man. You have to deserve it, man.
Szoboszlai, we already spoke about that. Arsenal By the way, Arsenal look to be completing their transfer window maybe very soon. We're going to get Declan Rice, Timber this week. William Saliba is going to sign his contract. Reece Nelson's going to sign his contract. Yeah, man, we're doing a lot of good stuff.
You're talking about all this, and
who do you think you're missing, bro? Who do you think you're missing?
Well, honestly, if Thomas Partey stays, we might.
No. What do you think what do you need to win the league?
Bro, we're not going to sign a striker this window. If that's what you expect me to say, sit here and say,
I think you need a centre back. I think
we are signing a centre back.
Huh?
Julian Timber.
Yeah, I thought he's a midfielder as well, isn't it?
No,
So,
he can play right back, centre back.
Wait. I just need, because you're not getting away with this one, Egal. So you're going to sign Rice, you're going to sign Timber, Saliba contract, Nelson contract. You're not signing a striker. So the people you are signing, the amount of money you're spending, what you're saying categorically here, you're not getting a striker. Are you going to be winning the Premier League this season with what you're doing so far? Rice and
yeah. I think we well equip our team well enough to compete for the league next season and potentially win it.
Not compete. Win.
Listen. I believe my team is good.
Why do we do this word play?
God is a politician, bro. He's a politician. They won't give you a straight answer.
Don't fall for it, man.
Can you guys see what's on the screen?
Gundogan, right? They haven't replaced him yet. Obviously, they're getting Gvardiol in.
I'm just gonna sit here. And you want to hear me sit here and say, yes, we're gonna win the league. That's what I believe. I genuinely do believe that. I think we're gonna win the league. But the issue is what you're asking me is, forget about all that stuff. I believe the team, the way it's equipped, it's win or bust for Arsenal. And I think a lot of you guys agree with me in the chat here.
What does that mean, win or bust? What does that mean, win or bust?
Just so people are aware, 1 hour, 26 minutes and 25 seconds, Egal said Arsenal were going to win the league.
No, we have to, or else it's heads are going to roll.
Yeah, but Alan, what's wrong with that, though?
But which heads are going? Let's just be clear here. When you say win or bust or heads are going to, what does that mean? Whose heads are going to roll?
That means people are going to be held accountable for their jobs, and there's no more rebuild. Mikel Arteta has to deliver a league title, or at least keep this team on the same level of progression, where next season we can maybe pick up a domestic trophy, but we still have to compete for the league and see adequate improvement in the performances. It cannot be a situation where we finished second last year and now this year we drop off and we challenge for top 4. It can't be that. We have to see the team continue to progress in the same level. It cannot be a situation where we can just be like, last year we were top 4. Last year we were challenging, but this year we're okay with top 4 and competing on all fronts. That's not enough for me. I feel like there needs to be a level of adequate improvement. And the only way to improve from last season is to, 1, either pick up some sort of domestic trophies, 2, either win the league, or 3, do a miracle and compete on all fronts and still win.
I thought you were going to say win the Champions League.
No, realistically, I don't expect Arsenal to win the Champions League. Even if a miracle happened, we would need something more than that. But yeah.
How about the FA Cup, your favorite?
I don't think anyone here can disagree with me when I say it's win or bust for Arsenal next season. Doesn't necessarily mean Mikel Arteta is going to get sacked, but a lot of people are going to probably go down like that route and that conversation if we don't win.
Can I ask one question then?
If City have another great year, right, and they win the league and Arsenal finish second again, should Mikel Arteta be sacked? I don't think so, because I think
the context has to be how do we do in the other competitions.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't know. Say you don't
if
win.
If we don't win any trophies, we get knocked out of the cup.
I'm not going to. If you win the Carabao Cup and everything else remains the same, I don't see that as that much of a bonus.
You didn't spend 100 million on Rice to win the Carabao Cup.
That's not a decisive factor in me saying Mikel Arteta should stay or shouldn't stay.
You can't talk about the Carabao Cup.
Listen, if you don't push City all the way to the end, that's not a good season, because you were very close to doing that. It was a race between you guys. You guys were way ahead. You were running much faster than them, and right before the finish line, you just start walking around, and then they caught you up. That's what you did. You start walking. Now you can't walk in those last 10 weeks again. Now, if you push them all the way, even if you lose, let's say it comes down to the last 2 weeks, I'll be like, you know what? That's respectful. I can't really be so enraged at that. Obviously, as the season goes, it's going to be a lot of context to how you dropped points and stuff like that. We're just talking about the general idea right now. If you push City all the way, even if you don't win it, that, to me, if we talk about that from now, that sounds like still a good season. Yes, you still want to win stuff. I'm still going to criticize you if you don't pick up a couple trophies on the way, but you need to at least do that. To me, that's the bare minimum, is to push them all the way.
I think if we finish third, it's an embarrassment.
What I think is
it's a
that
disgrace.
people in your comments need to understand.
Depends on who you finish third to.
Gaslighting is.
If we finish third to Liverpool and Man City, it would be an embarrassment that Man City.
But Igal, say for example, all right, this is a crazy hypothetical. I don't think it's going to happen. Say Liverpool win the league, City finish second, and Arsenal finish third.
It's an embarrassment.
Why?
How did we how did we spend 100 million on a player, and 65 million on Kai Havertz, and Liverpool come and overtake us after finishing fifth? That can't happen.
Because Liverpool just had a very bad season. That's like, you can literally say it as it is, bro. Like I think the failure for Arsenal would be
the season before we got more points than Arsenal have ever had in their entire history.
Goodness me.
And last season, and that's understandable. The points totals in football nowadays is ridiculous.
Yeah,
you probably had more points totals than Manchester United ever had in their history too, and Chelsea.
Egal. Would you say the failure would be
Chelsea's highest is 95?
The failure for you would be, to be fair, if you won no trophies next season again. For me, then I'm like, okay, that's not good enough for what you've spent, because it's the value of what you've done.
Even if you win a Carabao Cup or a FA Cup,
that's what I'm saying. You have to compete for the league. You have to compete for the league.
I still expect you to compete. Don't get me wrong, but I expect you to win something. I can't, like, there's no way that you have another season like you did this year and we call it acceptable again.
My expectations is deliver a Premier League title, or else I consider it a poor season.
Guys, can we be honest about something? There's 5-6 teams in the league where everyone is expected to win something. Oh, Spurs need to finally deliver a trophy. Oh, Ten Hag has to take United back to the winning days. Oh, how come Liverpool are not winning? They just signed these players. They have to deliver something. There's only 4 trophies we compete for. Let's be honest. If everyone picks up one trophy, there's 2 failures in this conversation for the 6 teams.
They gotta hold that, man.
But that's what I'm saying. You got to understand, we can't all say here, because if we go to United next and we talk about, oh, if United spend this much and they get this player and that player, they have to pick up a couple trophies. How many teams can win the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup?
Okay.
Not many. Only one team can.
No, but the context for each team is different, though. That's what I'm trying to say.
But that's what I'm saying. The main thing, they always say the league doesn't lie. Listen, if you spend big like Arsenal did, you have to compete for the league. I think Liverpool has to.
Yeah, but that's why I said about Chelsea spending 600 million, though. That's what
I get what you're saying, and I do agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, that's my point, though.
However, unfortunately, Chelsea won't compete for other reasons, because you did spend so much money, but you spent so much money just to go back to where you were, because you already went so far from how good you guys were. You went down so much, you're just trying to recover. You're just trying to go back to being a regular top 4. So yours is kind of more far-fetched than us. But we're going to say the same thing about United. So if you have City, who's expected to win, obviously, and then Liverpool, United, and Arsenal, who are spending the summer we didn't spend yet, but I'm assuming that we will spend, you're going to have people having the same talk. So that's 4 teams, bro. All 4 teams can't win the league. But I'll tell you something. Whoever's going to compete for the league and push City the furthest, you're going to be like, okay, they had a good year. Now you hope they pick up trophies on the way. But as I said, there's only one FA Cup. There's one Carabao Cup that no one rates. I mean, we got it last year and no one wanted to rate it. So that one is out of the conversation. So you want someone to pick up an FA Cup and a Champions League with competing with the league. We can't all do it. So I just named 4 teams for 3 things. It's not going to work. So we can all sit here and demand all these things, but at least to me, you have to be competing for the league when you spend this much money.
But over the years,
I agree with
one second. Over the years, United have been spending
One second.
You're not even close to the league.
Bro, chill.
Exactly. That proves my point.
1 second. Every Arsenal fan agrees that expectation next season is to compete for the Premier League.
I know. I'm not coming at you again. I'm just
not only do I say compete, I expect my team to try to deliver. But it's going to be hard against Man City. But I believe we can do it. A lot of people are still skeptical. But really and truly, our transfer window is not over. Liverpool's transfer window is not over. Man City's transfer window technically hasn't even started yet. So let's see what everyone does and where we land at the end of the season. But going into the season, City will be favorites. I think Arsenal will be second favorites, or some people might have Liverpool ahead of us. But really and truly, we'll be in the mix come next season. And expectations for the Champions League, somebody asked me, expectations for the Champions League. I'm delusional if I expect us to win the Champions League. I would never.
Why not? Why not?
I don't expect us to go and win the Champions League with no experience.
Why not?
We don't have experience in the Champions League. Why
we didn't have experience under Tuchel, but with the younger players, and we're going there to win the Champions League.
Bro, you had guys in your team like Conte. You had guys like Thiago.
You have to
Thiago.
respond. No. 1 second. Again. Let me come to that.
Thiago Silva.
Again, bro, let me come.
You have players in your
Champions
team.
League ultimately, bro, is a cup competition. In the day, anyone can beat anyone, right?
You know what? I would love to sit here.
I think the league is harder than the Champions League. The league, you have to be consistent week in, week out.
Bro, guess what? Chelsea have already won a Champions League before in this as a club. The weight of trying to win it the first time for your club can be so overbearing that it's difficult just for anyone to do it. Napoli this season were a better team than Arsenal. They couldn't get to the final. They lost to a team that had Champions League pedigree.
But 1 second. One second. You keep saying we're gonna challenge for the league, but we'll have no chance in the Champions League. Look, we went 2 years ago the Champions League. We ended up finishing 4th, bro.
And you didn't win the league.
Can I tell you something? Does Arteta as a manager even have experience in the Champions League?
Look.
The they have experience and end up winning it, win the double, win the FA Cup and the Champions League. No, that's not the point. The point is, I'm trying to make, right? Chelsea won the Champions League and they finished 4th in the table, right? It shows you something, bro. Okay. The Premier League is a tougher competition than the Champions League because the Premier League you got to be consistent week in, week out. You have to play in the cold, in the ice, in that conditions all the time, week in, week out, right? You have to go to Stoke. You have to go to West Brom. My point I'm trying to make is, right? The Champions League, who's better on the day? Chelsea can be no good in the league.
You want to know something? We're not set up in a way to win cups. Chelsea defensively were so good. They were set up to dominate and do well in cups. In the league, you struggled because you couldn't score as many goals. Now, Arsenal, the way we play, we might be more suited to the league than the actual cup competitions because Arteta, when he won his cup, he played defensive football. Now we're playing more progressive football, and it's more, you get found out more in the Champions League on the counterattack and in those one-off games with this kind of system against the top teams than you do in the league against the top teams. I'm just saying, based on Pep's experience over the last couple of years, he only won the Champions League this year for the first time. And
Arteta was coming, bro. He lost the final to Chelsea.
Arteta is a student of Pep's. Arteta is a student of Pep's, and he doesn't have the history in Europe. Every time we've been in the Europa League with Mikel Arteta, we've struggled.
Arteta's not even a big game manager, bro. I'm so sorry. Like, if this offends anyone, I've seen him lose so many big games. Lost to City 3 times last season. Even lost.
Who's that? Sorry, who's that, Staffy?
Arteta. He's not a big game manager yet. You know, he hasn't learned that. It's not a part of his trade. It took Pep how long to win a Champions League with the City team? 7 years, and he had a better squad. It's gonna take time, bro. Like. I don't want to put any expectations on them, even though I would love to.
You know what, guys?
To them later.
But I feel like we could be here all day, but let me just ask Mojo, what was you gonna say? Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I think this Champions League conversation about Arsenal is it's quite unfair, and just because other clubs happen to do what they did in their own circumstance, to expect a young Arsenal team with a young manager who are all pretty much going to go into this for the first time together. I don't know, but for me personally, they're definitely not in a conversation for it. I think it's just about them going out there, giving a good showing. That's why my expectation is not on them about Champions League. Expect them to compete in the Premier League and expect them to potentially get one of the League Cup or FA Cup, if not both. I think that's a very commendable way to kind of go about things. That's why I said if they win no trophies again next season, and the only conversation we're having about Arsenal is, hey, they got second place again, I don't think that's good enough. That's personally how I feel. That's not good progress for them. It's just consistency in terms of being there, but it's all about winning at the end of the day.
Yeah, and Alan, please, I just need to finish the show, so let's move off Arsenal.
Just one quick comment. So, look, the reason why I questioned the gal about the league and all that is because last season, they weren't meant to do what they were going to do, and then they were talking about the league, winning the league for quite some time, and then they reverted back to, it was a good season for us. So I wanted to have a game where you were before the start of the season, because obviously you've been there and done it in challenging. You're making the quality signings and spending the money to be able to say with Chester, I expect us or believe we will win the league. So that's what I was doing with that. In regards to the Champions League, I think it's ridiculous to say that Arsenal should win the Champions League or anything like that for exactly the same reason Mo's just said. Literally, you've got a young manager in Arteta, young squad who haven't been in that situation in Champions League. And Safi was right. You've literally seen Pep struggle with a Man City team with unlimited resources.
Stuff is always right.
Since now struggled to win a Champions League. So, you know, Arsenal, in regards to the league, I reckon Arsenal fans should be saying you should be challenging, not just challenging, but you should be winning the league this season, and anything less would be a bit of a disappointment. But I don't agree with the Champions League statement yet. If you're continually in there season in, season out for the next 3 or 4 seasons, you should be aiming to get better with every season. But at the moment, Arsenal fans, you need to hold your team to account.
They can't even win the Europa League, man.
No,
like,
guys,
let's be honest.
Guys, we don't need to relive that. Chelsea fans celebrate. Pulisic might be leaving for 14 million to AC Milan. You have apparently Gvardiol's deals getting close for 120 million euros. Damn.
What in the hell?
100 million pounds.
120 million euros. Crazy.
Yeah.
Now, De Gea is leaving, meaning that Manchester United are going to need a new goalkeeper. Or Andre Onana is going to be that keeper. What you got to say, Staffy? How you feeling?
I'm happy we finally got to this. This is the one topic that I actually enjoy talking about. Everything else is mount.
Too bad it's going to be only 12 minutes long.
Yeah, man, we're talking about Man United, man. Camera off, mic off. See you later, man.
Listen, if we went through a Chelsea segment for that long, I'm pretty sure we can go through this one. Because no one gives a shit about Chelsea. But anyways,
no one gives a shit about yours either, man. Go ahead.
Anyways, besides what this hater just said, this is probably the biggest signing of the summer in my opinion, because I don't think we're gonna sign an elite striker. So unless we would have been getting a Kane.
What about Mason Mount? What about Mason Mount? Don't upset
What about Rasmus Hojlund?
Can you mute this guy, because he's I don't like what he's saying. Anyways, this is probably going to be the biggest signing for us this summer. It's the one signing that I'm really excited about. I'm running with this agenda that I already started on Twitter. This is the best goalkeeper in the world. You can hold that against me. I think we're getting the best goalkeeper in the world for about 50 million.
I agree, Staffy.
Rack is a very intelligent guy. So for Rack to agree with me, that's actually very good proof.
You know what? One thing we can agree on: the best goalkeepers in the world are all in the Premier League, except for one, the one that plays for Real Madrid.
Yeah,
true.
Courtois is the best goalkeeper in the world.
But I was going to explain the reason I'm saying that the reasoning behind that is because I think this guy, the way he plays from the back, it's probably like bar Ederson. I think I put him on level with Ederson, if I'm being really honest. And he's a good shot stopper. He's not the best shot stopper in the world, but he's a very good shot stopper. And you put next to that he is elite when it comes to building up from the back. The guy has ice in his veins. If you guys ever used that term, or if you ever heard that, this guy legit has ice in his veins. I just listen. I watched 0 Mount compilations. Was not interested. I watched a lot of Onana compilations. That's the guy I wanted to watch.
That's a problem, mate. Goalkeeper compilations. Fuck, hell.
Listen,
we need to discuss.
Gal, I thought we muted this guy. I don't know why he's still talking.
My bad. I thought I was muted.
No, but for real though, I think this guy is top goalkeeper in the world, next to Ederson, next to Alisson. Just the way that he builds from the back is going to really change your game 180 degrees. We just had nothing like that for years. We were so behind on getting with, this new style of play where everyone has a competent goalkeeper who comes out and sweeps and commands his box. And at the same time, when he gets the ball, he's very competent and he's relaxed and he knows this guy could do it all. And I'm very excited for this to happen. I hope it happens ASAP. I hope my club does not mess this up because they have done a lot throughout the years to embarrass me. I hope this is not another one of those because I'm coming out here talking about him being the best in the world. If we don't sign him, I'm not saying that no more. I don't care for that. So I hope we go ahead and do this.
You do know. I'm gonna clip this and I'm gonna put it on Twitter. The moment he signs, I'm gonna post hashtag they've already started, and it's going to be you saying he's the best in the world.
All right, so let me say it again so you get this one clearer. I think Onana is the best goalkeeper. Don't laugh so he can. No, don't. Bro, I look like a lobster, first of all. I was out in the sun.
Go ahead.
Don't put a big screen on me. No. Go back.
Do it. Come on.
Bro. I do a lot of large screens. No, stop that. You're doing a Terry right now. No, put me back in the regular panel so it looks like it's a regular statement. Don't put me on the big screen. I am saying Onana to me is the best goalkeeper in the world. And I'm running with that agenda. I am running with that agenda.
Done. And I'm just going to say, Rasmus Hojlund might be your striker signing. You've already had a £30 million bid rejected, apparently.
I think they want 45 for him. kind of see where they're coming from. To be honest, 45 is not bad when you look at all the prices that are being asked around the world right now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 45
He's
is
more
like
proven than Modric.
Well, one is a striker, one is a winger, so it's not really the same comparison that I'm going to
I think he's centre forward, isn't it? Is he Atlanta player? Right?
He's a striker, yeah, he's a striker.
I think
he's strolling. He's strolling.
Yeah,
he's strolling.
He's a striker.
Yeah.
It's
he's a Manchester United fan, so
is he better than Weghorst?
Yes.
Alan, you are better than Weghorst, so that says a lot. Actually, doesn't say
Alan
a lot.
Play, have you?
I mean, listen, bro, I've seen Weghorst play. This is what I'm saying. I could have said that about anyone here. Rack is probably better than Weghorst.
No,
but I think it's a good signing.
Let me ask you a question, Stuffy. What do you make of Anthony, bro? I think Anthony is he flop? Do you think 100 million?
What does that have to do with Hojlund, bro? I wanted to.
No, I'm asking you a question. I'm asking about Anthony, bro.
I'm not here to talk about Anthony right now.
Listen, I'm in the minority. I like Anthony.
It's maybe 100 million. That's why I'm just wondering.
I know we overspent for him, and I explained more than once why we overspent for him. It's not his fault that he went for that price tag. I think people keep calling him a flop because they look at people like Mo Salah as an example. He's a winger, but this guy is not really a traditional winger. He's just like a guy that scores like 20 to 30 goals a season, and people tend to forget that that's not what traditional wingers do. Traditional wingers didn't really get down a man of goals a season. We're looking at some people now that do that. Yeah. Like even Martinelli. Martinelli scores more goals than Saka. You know, he's just like more on the scoring side than just playing like a traditional winger. Yeah, but I think he was injured for a little bit. Maybe if Martinelli played more, he would have had more goals. But point is, people don't look at what Anthony does, and they look at what he doesn't do, which is score goals. They're looking at his GA, and they think he's a flop because of that. But yet again, when you see him playing as opposed to Sancho, you see his general game is more suitable for us than Sancho because he does a lot on the defensive side, which is why we had one of the best defenses this season, and we finished third. So people want to look at his individual numbers, but I'm saying this guy came in, him along with a couple people, and we finished third place. Yes, I do want more output from him.
Bro, when you sign Onana, a lot of your fan base is finally going to realize what a ball-playing center half can do for your team. Like, De Gea has been holding you guys back so much. And
I know, and that's what I said. I love how you guys just keep flip-flopping me between players. I don't know who to talk about.
No. About Onana. I agree with you, but a lot of your fans have been holding on to the De Gea thing.
I love De Gea, bro, but I knew it was time to go. It was time to go.
I just want to ask the question after, innit?
You guys, this guy's still talking.
No, I'm asking. My question is very simple.
Well, I'm playing.
No, I know, bro. Like, my question to you is very simple. You've signed Mason Mount and you've not spoken about him. I would like you to speak about Mason Mount. What is he bringing to your team?
Enough said.
What more do you need? Look, bro. Did you not watch the last episode? I mean,
I wasn't there.
Yeah, Igal can tell you what I said. Igal, send him the last episode. You know what I said. This guy's amazing, bro.
Let me ask you a question.
I just wanted to know if you were going to say he's the best midfielder in the world or what. Come on. Why can't you just say it? Just say it, bro. You said it for Onana.
Nah, he calls him Money Mace now. It
hasn't grew on me yet, but very soon I'll be calling him.
I think it will improve United, though.
Listen, guys, this has been a crazy episode. Rack has somehow gone from outside to inside. I didn't even notice.
Oh shit, he has.
No noise.
Rack, you know what you
noticed?
It was cold outside, man.
When did he come inside?
Never reveals his secrets.
By the way.
I think it's still raining, isn't it? Is it still raining?
Hey, we told him to go, but we told him to go and mute so many times. We told him
back. Big up Ozzy, come back. Big up Ozzy, come back. This
guys, you know what?
Honestly, you Chelsea fans might be needed more often because Qasim and Mojo are so different that it brings so much.
I'm here to bring some madness, man. Don't worry.
Gal, you know what Rack looked like sitting outside? I swear that's the only thing I could think of because the way he was sitting in that corner, it just reminded me like of the Batman signal, and Rack is just sitting out there waiting for the Rack signal. Because he's a superhero or something, and he's waiting for 100%. Someone to flash it in the sky so he can go and save someone. I swear to God, he looked like a superhero.
Yeah, big pause.
I'll take it. Listen, I'll take it.
He's just signed for Liverpool, so he's waiting for the Liverpool badge so he can go into the shirt.
I picture. Listen, the signal would be Rack sitting there with his.
We're gonna end the show. We're gonna end the show. I just need yes or no answers from everyone, and it's no context, just yes or no. I know Rack, you love to give context. First point, we're going to rebuttal. Number one, Liverpool have signed Szoboszlai. They've signed McAllister. They're going to go sign another midfielder in Lavia potentially and a defender. Are Liverpool challenging next season? Yes or no?
Yes.
I say yeah. I say they're challenging, but there's going to be 3-horse race.
Oh, we're going around. Yes, I would say yes as well.
Qasim?
Yeah, man, even if they sign the guy, man,
I think they get further from than Arsenal, by the way.
Yeah,
okay, Rock, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
They
Okay.
get further than Arsenal.
Chelsea.
Remember that.
Do Chelsea get a striker and a goalkeeper this transfer window? Yes or no, guys?
No.
No.
No. They'll get
Okay.
one or
I don't think Chelsea will finish top four.
No.
No, nobody asked that.
That wasn't a question. Can't
Bro,
lie, bro.
I think he knew that, but he just wanted to add it.
Listen, listen again. I'm making, bro, you know,
Bro, he wanted to add that. He wanted to make sure we heard him.
Oh my god.
Kasim, you are quality, bro. I'll tell you that. You are quality.
Stop it. Listen, bro. If you keep the same goalkeeper and centre back and no striker, we're not gonna finish top four. That's my point.
But that wasn't the question, Kasim. The guy asked you if you wanted to eat rice with chicken. You said no, I don't like pasta. Like, what is that?
I wanted to kushari. You know kushari.
Kushari, I would love some kushari right now.
Yo, what?
No. I think
I've never seen a guy laugh so much.
Oh, no, you actually got me, bro.
I can't breathe. Where did this come from?
Let me ask you more now. Mo, do you think we're gonna finish top four?
We're finishing top four, bro. What is this? I have to go against you. Of course, I'm gonna say that.
Okay.
This is amazing.
Stop.
Oh my god.
Arsenal
crying,
signed all the signings they need. Do we win the league next year? What do you guys think?
No. Oh shit. Sorry. I don't know why I shouted.
That was very loud.
No.
No,
Okay, everyone says no.
I didn't say anything yet, bro. Let me.
Then answer, bro. What are you waiting
It's
for?
about Chelsea.
No.
Get relegated. Go ahead, say it.
I think Arsenal are 2 players away from winning the league.
Okay.
Osimhen should strike.
I thought you were going to say four
If they
again.
sign Osimhen as a striker, and if they sign a world-class centre back, I think.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah, he didn't make it about Chelsea.
And then does everyone finally does everyone think Tottenham are going to compete for top 4 next season?
I actually think yes. They're surprising me. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a very, very low key yes. Look at Alan. He's like, what is Staffy on that I don't know?
I say no. I still think they're so far away defensively. They need a lot more defensive cover.
I don't think they.
I thought Igao was going to ask a different question to that, so I was just going to joke and go, no, I don't think Spurs will get top 4 as what just happened. But he asked a question about top 4, so no, we won't get top 4.
I don't think you will. He said, will you guys compete for top 4? That's why
I think you'll compete for it.
Okay, compete. Yeah, I reckon we'll compete. I think Spurs will be about 5th or 6th.
Yeah, I think so. I think Alan. I think you guys are going to play a style of football that is going to take time for it to be found out. And
wait. How come 5th? What about Newcastle? 5th and 6th?
I didn't say where they're going to finish. Listen, if they're 5th and Newcastle could be 6th, or if they're 6th, Newcastle can be 5th. I didn't say. I didn't decide, bro. I'm just saying. I think they'll compete for top 4. I think the manager's coming in. He's doing a lot of low key work. A lot of players that he's bringing in are not just known names, not expensive players. He's getting the right profile. I don't know what he's doing yet. I don't know what he's cooking, but I'll tell you something. I think he's going to do something well. I think it's going to take time for it to be found out. And maybe by then, they'll have enough momentum where they picked up enough points in the league to sit in a comfortable position competing for the top 4. It's just a prediction. No one slate me for it. No one call me a clown in the comments because I give an opinion, because I get that a lot. I don't know why. Like, I'm not allowed to speak here, but that's just my opinion.
Okay, and final question of the day. Gun to your head. Mbappe is coming to the Premier League. Which club do you think he's going to?
Chelsea.
Who's that?
Mbappe, gun to your head. Mbappe is picking a Premier League club. Which club is he going to?
He's not going to Premier League.
I say Arsenal 2024. Staffy says United.
No, I didn't say United. Don't put words in my mouth.
I'm gonna say Chelsea.
You get Qatari money. You get United.
Okay, that's different then. You didn't say Qatari money.
You get Qatari money. He's going to United.
If my Qatari cousins buy the club,
listen, Todd Bowley gets giddy. He goes to Chelsea. Tottenham don't have a chance. He already said no to Spider-Man.
God damn. Why?
Liverpool have a lot of attackers. They would need Mo Salah to go to Saudi before that happens. So, what you guys saying?
Qatar comes into United. He goes.
I think
United.
to me,
That's
I think
it.
it's more like
He'll
United
never-
now.
It's
United.
either, yeah. It's
What
either
I want to
Qatar
know is-
United or he's never coming to the Premier League.
No,
Don't
but
even
why
ask
is
me.
Brighton not in this conversation? Someone explain that to me.
I
Why
said
is
to
Brighton
mute
not
this
in
guy's
this
mic a while ago.
No,
and he's
you're
still
doing
trying.
this again. You're doing
Hey,
this again.
more. Brighton will finish above Tottenham, man. I can
Brighton
tell you
can't
that
even
for-
sign
for
Tammy
free,
Abraham
bro.
right now. Allow them.
I can tell you that for free.
Listen, Brighton don't need Mbappe. They have Evan Ferguson.
Yes, Brighton will sign Mbappe. I agree.
I think this is the part where we close the show because we're saying a bunch of nonsense.
Guys,
now.
this has been a great show.
One
Honestly,
minute,
love
one
for
minute,
the
one
live
minute.
people.
The only
What's
two teams that Mbappe has ever come out and said they said that he's interested in going to in England are Manchester United and Liverpool.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
I
saying.
like this Rack today. Me and Rack had some weird,
That's what I'm
friendship
saying.
going on this show today.
And I think
It's not usually like that. We usually don't like. each other.
Anyways, I think it's time to end it. Have a good one, guys.
I don't think Chelsea gets on.
Hashtag is in there. Woo!